Morning, people. It is Tuesday, the 27th of June. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. And I am one of your lovely hosts, the Shade Queen, Martin Royalty.
Hello. Why do you always go to like empty chairs? Is it
Shame them.
Is it on purpose?
No, I was hoping that you can, hopefully you can shame people into being.
No, but it always makes me laugh. Like, it's so childish. But hello, hi, I'm here. Sorry, I don't have energy for you today. Okay, I'm tired.
You're telling me you're not going to have energy until hay fever season passes. This
No,
is
because it's not fair. You know, on the way
you're
here,
down bad.
No, on the way here, I was so sad.
Have you got asthma?
No.
Imagine she had asthma.
I'm really suffering, you know.
We would have had to be filming from the hospital. I can't lie to
telling
you.
you.
If you had asthma, you'd be.
Really?
I've got asthma, yeah, and I'm down bad some days, but it hasn't been. I feel like my baddest phase, my worst phase, not baddest. Wow, my worst phase has passed. But every time I hear your voice, I'm like,
it's actually
damn.
becoming. It's draining.
This is your story.
Me. Yeah, but it's draining. There's no joy, man. I wake up in the morning. I'm just
find it on the weekends though.
Girl.
Joey. You know, look one little bit of down bad over the weekends. We love to see it though. We love to see it.
Mate, that's so not fair. No.
Oh dear.
Do you know how I know when I'm like my eyes are tired? Yeah, it's like even keeping them open right now. It's the lights
No, it
super
hurts.
bright right now. I'm living it.
I know that feeling. It's not nice. And then when you close your eyes, it's like it hurts. Like you can feel like the muscles. You know in Tom and Jerry when was it the dog or whatever?
Yeah.
Would have toothpick.
The toothpicks keep your eyes open. Yeah,
that's what it feels like.
My eyes they feel heavy. Like right now, my eyes feel heavy. Like right now, I could just say like this. They feel so heavy. Like they're the size of they're just weighing me down, man.
At least that's a positive. So you've stayed looking cute throughout all of this, and that's what matters. All right then.
Yeah,
Do you all suffer from FOMO?
From what?
FOMO.
No.
Fear of missing out. Only for one thing I did recently. What was it? Oh, the Burna Boy concert.
At the detriment to your health.
Oh, he's throwing shade at you. Okay.
No, I'm asking a question.
I bet you are.
No, I
You're asking
don't.
the question
Not
about
me. I don't suffer from FOMO. Like if I don't want to go, I won't go. But if I want to go, I'm going to go. That's the thing. Like it's not. Do you know what I mean? If I don't want to go, I'm not going. But if I do want to go, you're gonna see me in the middle.
Turn it up.
And that.
But yeah. Sorry, our last introduction.
That's all right.
You did want a black women episode.
This is it.
There you go. He let the black women speak. All right, love it.
They call me you, man. Pro-black activist.
Sorry, that threw me off.
TDA producer and news analyst. And of course, the melanin is jam-packed.
That is right. We'd love to see it. How's everybody doing this lovely morning?
Yeah, all good.
Yeah?
Can't complain.
Love that.
How did you enjoy your
Sabbatical.
hiatus? Yeah.
It was lovely, thank you. Went on walks, been
That's
working
all.
out.
Welcome to Jericho. You go, girl.
Girl.
She
You know
walked for
one
2
day
hours.
Sorry?
She walked for 2 hours.
3.
3.
Exactly.
Exactly. That's walking to Jericho.
Yeah.
Mad.
I walked, basically on Friday, I walked to the gym, yeah. I walked to my gym. It was very chaotic. Walked to my gym, an hour and 10 minutes. And then I did a body balance class, which is basically like a yoga. It's a mix between yoga, Pilates, and Tai Chi. But you just move to the beat of the music. I do a lot of white people stuff. I love it for me. You know, when I'm in those settings, I'm like, you know, I actually could be a housewife, but like a housewife of my own businesses and stuff like that, not totally reliable. Because I like it. The whole, like, when people are at work, but I'm here.
Yeah.
Doing funny, doing downward dogs and all sorts. Do you know what I mean? I think it's just, that life really suits me. And there's a reason why God is putting me in it already. But anyway, so I did that and then I walked home an hour and 45 minutes. Do you know what's crazy though? So basically I got home and I think at some point I must have done something to my ankle. My ankle was down bad. Like it was hurting. Like I was limping around the house. And then my aunt was saying to me, was it Achilles heel? But then I had a class the next morning. So I said, you got a few hours to sort this out. And I was able to. I used some Chinese ointment thing.
And it was all right.
No, it didn't work. I had to wake up at 5. I had to wake up because basically I had the option of a boniki, which is obviously the Nigerian one, and the Chinese one. I said, you know what? Chinese know what they're doing. Let me use the Chinese one. I tried to doubt my ancestors. I woke up at 5:30 in the morning. I was like, I can't lie. My class at 9 a.m. Then I used a boniki. I was doing burpees in my class.
See?
It was all good.
Should have went there from before.
Should have went there from before. But that's what I basically just did. Big up my trainer. I've been working my body off. So I just worked out, went on walks, slept, meditated. That kind of vibe. I'm a Zen type of girl. I like peace. I don't
I
like
love
problems.
that for you, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Even your
matches
kimono.
It's
Today,
very...
today you're giving.
Today I'm giving...
You're giving Zen.
Thank you. Love it.
that.
But yeah, how are you guys? How's things?
I'm tired. Literally. But
You know what it is.
I know. Right. It's self-inflicted. So, what can one do when you don't like to stay in your house and you're chasing outside?
Not chasing.
You get tired. You get tired.
Why have you got to chase it?
Do you know what I mean? I'm not chasing, but yeah. Even this morning, I said to my friend, I was like, we're meant to go to an event. I said, I'm not going. This event's in like 3 weeks. I said, my social battery.
In 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Do you know, I get you though.
I was like, I'm done. She's like, well, you've been out all weekend. I said, precisely my point. And I said, you know what? Yeah, it's not no, I'm not going. And I'm making that decision today. See, I told you, if I don't want to go, I'm not going.
But there is a thing though. I feel like in summer though, you can't really say no to things. But that's because I don't go out in winter.
But the problem is, this is what I was saying, yeah. I remember what I said to Marks the other day when I was like, I don't look forward to my weekends because I feel like my weeks are the same. Like, because I don't work a typical 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Like, you can find yourself at events during the week, all of that kind of stuff. So, like, it's just not, it's not the same.
Yeah.
So, in my head, yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, summertime you can have fun in winter. No, you're not inside in winter because it's the same thing. It's like, there's so many, I feel like.
Do you know what doesn't help as well?
What?
You go to hot countries in the winter. So your summer sometimes is all year round.
It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can't even be like, okay, cool. From winter, I'm going to be chilling and hibernate because I know what's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
I get you.
there's just events.
In winter, I only go to concerts, but it has to be like an artist I really want to see. Otherwise, I'll be alright. Or if it's like a birthday thing.
Yeah, and I have, like,
And
for
depends
example,
who
the month
it
of
is.
October, I have hella birthdays.
There's a lot of birthdays in October.
Why?
There's a lot of birthdays in October.
And this year for me is a milestone for like all my people.
Like 30s?
35.
35, okay.
Jesus. I ain't there yet though, but I ain't far.
You know what? That's how I feel.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's like, I just know, again, I'm like, you don't leave me alone. And now everyone is like, I've had save the dates. Do you know what I mean? Now everyone's like, from
Everyone's
September,
serious.
like the early people in your school year.
Oh, yes.
It's their season, isn't it? So there's a lot going on. And I'm just like, oh, this is just
A lot.
long.
Oh, you're not looking forward to 35?
To me?
Mm.
I mean, no.
Nah, you look forward to it by God's grace.
Amen.
Amen. No, it's not like I'm not looking forward to it. It's just like, I remember my 30th. That felt like yesterday. So how do we get here so quickly?
I get you.
It's that kind of, do you know what I mean?
I remember being in secondary school the other day. So now that I'm knocking on 30's doors, I'm like, I'm actually a baby girl. And I think that's my thing. Like, I still feel like I'm in the same body, obviously, but do you get me? Like, I feel like I remember school the other day. I remember break time the other day. So how am I feel like I'm a taxpayer knocks me out anyway.
Do you know what I think it is?
It's
for me as well,
wild.
yeah? Once you hit 35, like, you're literally you're 40 in my head.
Yeah, you're living
Do you know what I mean? Like, to me, when you're 35, you're closer to 40 than 30. So
Yeah.
that's when life gets, when it gets like,
It gets real for real.
how?
It's amazing though.
Yeah, all of that, but how?
She said, yeah, it's a blessing. Whatever.
How? How? Like, even my older brother, he's 40 next year, and I'm just like, damn. Like, how?
Ages are so, I find it so
It's
funny.
so crazy. Cause
When I find out people's ages, I'm just like I do that to my brother quite a bit. And I'm like, you're you're two people's dad. Like, you are a father. It's so funny.
It's weird, isn't it? Because you remember when you guys were just kids?
I remember that.
Just
So
messing around in the
clearly,
house.
like,
Yeah.
so clearly. And I'm like, you're someone, like, now your kids are messing up this house.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's such a blessing. Though. Even like when I go to like my friends who've got like babies and stuff, like weddings and stuff. Damn, you guys are grown. So cute though.
I think that's what's interesting for me because I've got friends that are doing life. And I also have friends who are still outside.
Do you know what's mad
So
though?
it's like it's so interesting
Because you know what it is like.
because the contrast is crazy.
The contrast is crazy. And I think I have a group of friends here where they're basically all married. I think, they're all married and like settled down, like having kids now. And every time we meet up. I am there on vibes. I am husbandless. I am kidless.
Facts.
And they're like, oh, I feel like you're just, I'm just like, yeah, I'm just.
You know what it is?
Like, I only ever have career stuff to bring to the table.
And when they have kids' parties, me, I have to drag my niece and nephew.
Oh.
Come on.
Come on, let's go.
But your group of friends, yeah, are they all like sub 30?
Yeah, we're not 30 yet.
And they're all married and...
But also,
no,
they also do.
no.
Wait.
Oh my gosh, wait, did you get that?
Wait. No, you're joking.
No, did you
But
see the
also,
look?
no, I've got
Please
something for
keep
you.
it up.
I've got something for you.
What happened.
I have something for you.
I'm going to put it in the woman's sphere as well.
No. Wait.
They are from, do you know what it is with them?
Terrible.
They are from different cultures, and not one of them is with a black man. Do you know why?
What
Black men don't like to thank you, Brent. And black men don't like to settle. That's exactly why they're all married and with kids and in wholesome homes. Do with that information what you will. Do with that information what you will. Yes.
Do you know what? Yeah, first and foremost, you're lucky you're not
crazy.
sitting next to me because I would have punched you.
I wanted to ask a question, so that's why I
don't ask questions.
You know, you gave me that bombastic side eye.
Bombastic side eye.
Like you gave me that look that my mum would give me. Like, look at your
look at your age mates.
Yeah.
Throwback.
You can't shame me.
You literally. No, that's how I know you're African. You probably were
You're
like,
ridiculous. You couldn't help it. It jumped out.
wow.
It actually jumped out.
Like, what are you doing, Gina?
Not a lick of them.
But it's fine because in my group, it's literally balanced. This is what my mum obviously is like rattled you, but I always say to her, I was like, babe, if I was the last one in my group here, I'd get why you'd be scrambling. Like, I get it. But I'm not. Like, there's a lot of us who are still single, childless, and
But do you know
figuring it
what
out. Do you know what I mean? So it's a lot more common now.
I'll be honest, even if I am the last, well, technically I am the last one. But it doesn't, I feel like everyone's life path is different.
Oh, of course, 100%.
So you can't shame me.
I know, but I didn't expect
You
this
can't
to be
make
mine,
me.
though.
No, do you know?
I'm gonna be-
I didn't expect it to be mine either.
gonna
But
be-
I'm having to do
I'm going
reality.
to be honest. Sometimes, I just think, do you know when I knew? This is when I knew. When I became single, was it 32? I knew. Almost 32. I said, yeah.
We
I
in
said,
for a ride, honey.
I said, problem. I said, okay.
No, I didn't think it's going to be my story. But a part of me is glad it is because I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, cool.
There's a reason. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just, yeah, man.
No, I'm the same. Like, I don't regret it, 100%. Like, I wouldn't, and if I had to do life again, like, I wouldn't do anything differently. I believe everything happens for a reason.
Man was given bondage, honey.
So I'm good. I'm all right with it. It's just obviously the age I'm at now is like my birthday. I just thought, oh, knock it off. Every message, every phone call at the end was, this time next year will be.
Shut up.
This time next year, I was like, it's okay.
Don't y'all women find having children stunts your career trajectory?
Yes.
It does.
So if it is, you're super ambitious.
But I think it
This
does,
is it.
yeah. And the thing is with me though, mine's not because I'm super ambitious and I'm not ready to have kids. Does that make sense? I just ain't found a sperm donor. Do you know what I mean? I ain't found my partner, so I'm not gonna have kids with anyone. But and again, I feel like I'm lucky because my job allows me to. I work for myself, innit? So
You can actually.
I can actually have kids whenever I'm ready. Like whenever I'm good to have kids. Personally, I believe.
Do you feel like, because you're like so independent, right? And I don't mean
That is a problem, though. I do believe.
Yeah. Okay. So independent, right? But add on top the fact that you work for yourself, you can do things your own time. If like you've got time, right, and you can do everything like at your own pace, do you feel like you're filling up your time with all the things you want to do? Like for example, all your like all the things you basically need to do, and because you're filling up all the time you have with that, you may not necessarily have the time to date.
No, because I feel like you make time for what you want to make time for.
Period. That's a word.
So for me,
You get what I mean, though?
I do get what you mean, but no, because like I said, even with the going out stuff, right? I can decide to stay in my house and chill and relax and be a bit more zen, but I choose to go out because I enjoy it. Do you understand what I mean? So I don't see my ambition or the way my life is. Some people, I've had conversations with loads of people in it, and everyone has an opinion on how you live your life and what things you're doing that's preventing you from finding your life partner and and in the way, do you know what I mean? All that stuff, yeah. But it's like, I don't think so. And also, I'm that person where it's like, you know what? I don't have kids. Don't have a partner. I'm not responsible for anybody else. So isn't now the time for me to actually live selfishly and do all the things that I can do? So even like when my mum's like, oh, like for her, she sees it as you're too ambitious, you're too driven. We get it. You work hard, but slow down, innit? And in my head, I'm like, no, because I can't slow down now because doesn't it make sense to work harder now because I'm not going to be able to. Like, there's going to be a period where I have to slow down, not by choice, because life is going to require that. So isn't it better that now I have the capacity to be on form to maximize my time?
100%, yeah. But what I'm trying to say is it's kind of like, say I have 15 hours in a day that I'm awake, for example, right? And I'm thinking, I'm single, I'm by myself, no kids, no responsibilities, whatever it may be. And I think to myself, I normally work 8 hours a day. In my mind, I'm thinking, I could do overtime. So what may tend to happen is I'm just focused on getting money to build for my future family, not understanding that the overtime may be taking me away from functions that I could meet this person.
But you know what? But that's the thing, though. Sorry, that's the thing with Gina, for example. Yeah, sorry, girl, you're the case study today. She goes out, so she's in places where she will meet people, but she's still working hard. There are people who, because your point does make sense, but those are for people who, because they're working hard, they intentionally don't date. So even if they are outside and they meet somebody, someone tweeted about that actually the other day, Chizo. I don't know if you saw his tweet. He tweeted about like working in the day and like wanting to build certain things, blah blah. So he was dating somebody, but because he knew that work and whatever was his focus, that lacked and that suffered. And so it's a thing where like where he's at right now, he can't give attention and can't give attention to dating. And there's people like that.
Sounds like Brent. Sorry.
There's people like that. Do you know what I mean? There's women and men who are like that, where your career, what you're building right now is the sole focus. So even if you do meet somebody, they meet somebody that is what they want, but because of what they're building, they're like, I can't commit to that. But I think it's different when it is you're someone who works hard or whatever, but when that thing is added onto you as in love or whatever, or romantic partner or whatever, you accommodate for it. Because I always felt like I don't have the time or blah 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 to date. When I found somebody who I felt was worth dating, I balanced everything. Everything was able to be balanced. Do you get what I mean? So I think it is. I think if you're intentionally closing yourself off to dating because you're building, then you're not gonna find somebody. Even when you find somebody, you're pushing them away.
I agree with you, 100%. I really do agree with you. Yeah, but I feel like the first thing you mentioned about Chisholm when you mentioned Brent, right? I think it's a bit different for the men. Yeah, I know that people may say so.
Because you have more time.
We have more time, yeah. But that aside, like in those examples, those two guys that you mentioned are intentional about only or prioritizing work, right? I'm not saying that that's what you're doing. So in a situation like I was talking about with you now, for example, like if you're working, like I said, say 15 hours a day, right? And you're working, you're doing whatever you're doing, you're posting this, that, and the third, but then you're going to events, And yes, you're meeting people at these events and stuff like this, but it's still, I'm kind of assuming here, but it's still kind of with the mentality of networking connected to my work, right? And so you may not be in a frame of mind to be like, I'm here. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah, but you know
compared to somebody else.
Okay, I hear you.
Okay.
But if I'm talking about me, because like Esther said, I go out. I'm not I don't stay. It's not like, all you do is work. How you going to meet someone? I stay outside.
Like, I'm a homebody.
Yeah,
so
and I'm not
my story is different.
Like, I stay out. I go outside. I go to networking events. I go to social events. So I go to different places. So it's not always a case of like, you having it in your mind that, okay, I'm here to network and not pursue things. Okay. I think my problem is my mindset.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm the problem.
Elaborate.
I don't trust y'all.
Okay.
Like, point blank, period. Like, I don't, you know what it is with me, yeah? And this is obviously speaking from a place of trauma, I hear it, yeah, but it's like I've had too many bad experiences. And since I've been single, you see, my life, my career, everything has catapulted into something so amazing that I don't think people understand. Brent knows what I'm talking about. Like, if you've been there, like, my trajectory is nuts. So, because of that, I can't afford. I cannot afford anybody to come and you see this sanctuary God has. Do you know what I mean? It's not anybody that can come and like scatter it. So I think because it's so precious and dear to me, I'm very, 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 like, some might say I'm not open-minded. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm closed off, yeah? And it's gonna take a certain person to, like, worm their way in, if that makes sense. Yeah. And it will never start on a I'm moving to you vibe.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, it's not gonna work that way. Like, I'm big on friendships anyway, so, like, if it's a relationship that grows into something else, that's most likely how it probably will work for me. Just because of where I am, like, mentally, I just can't have anyone come and disturb
my peace, Sonny.
Honestly, and you know what's crazy? Yeah, I'm getting older. Time isn't on my, all of that stuff. It's like cool story. I hear it, but I know where I was, and I know where I am, and I would take this any day over being in a relationship to say that I'm in a relationship and I'm having kids because my time is fast spent.
You know the thing is, I'm agreeing with who might agree, but I'm understanding everything you're saying. But can I throw something back at you?
Hold on, Marks. You know why? Listen,
why are you not here?
Don't make me. Do you know why I'm not gonna embarrass you? Because I got hella receipts, brother. Hella receipts. Yeah.
What did you do?
With your name on it.
In the DM.
With your Ross Clark name on the end. Signed, sealed, and delivered, my G.
That'll do it.
So don't come on the internet hiding behind no behaviour talking about these girls getting no man. Are you all right? Wait till you get in here. I'm going to pinch you.
But,
do you know what? Sorry.
I was just going to say to Gina, yeah. Given that that's your kind of, the thing you're kind of looking for, obviously, I can't speak for the men out there, but do you not feel like that's going to be super difficult for a man to approach you with intentions of being just a friend or friend at first and then work up to then date you?
No, of
man,
course.
That's a man with that's a man with patience. And
no, do you know what it is? No,
but
but
how does someone approach you to be a friend though? Do you get what I'm saying?
What do you mean? You approach people to be your friends? Then you make friends.
No, it's different.
No, it's not.
It's different.
no.
I don't get it. What do you mean? What's the question?
No.
How does someone approach you to be friends?
Yeah,
No, the thing is-
like a man.
No, the thing is,
Yeah. It's
Brett,
still
no,
interesting,
Emmanuel.
good conversation.
The thing is, let me be
I'll come back,
honest.
I'll
I
come
would
to
have
that.
clipped that. That was a wild question.
Who,
What,
me?
Emmanuel?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yes. How does a man approach you to be friends? Send me you approach me to be your girlfriend, just take the girl out of it.
He said
No,
there's
but-
only
but-
one thing in his mind when he's approaching women.
Yo, Kevin, man, you understand what I mean?
You call on Kevin?
Kevin Marks.
Mark.
He's not friendship.
Mark's like, why am I in it? Mark's got no female friends.
You know the thing is though, yeah?
Mark's.
This is it.
Silence in the room. Definitely. Are you so right?
No, but Gina answered exactly, you answered what I meant.
I do, but I guess with most, to be fair, I hear it because, like, the last guy that tried to, whatever, I was like, oh, no, he's like, I'm just trying to be your friend, like, straight up and down. That's not, bro, that was not my intention. We're not doing this. Like, and I was just like, no, he's not having it. But do you know what it is? And when I say friendship, it's not on a case of, I want to be a friend, I want to get to know you. I think it's just the no pressure. Do you know what I mean? It's the no pressure and like, let me get to know your personality and like, I'm big on energy and vibes. Do you get what I mean? So if I mess with that, it can become something. Do you know what I mean?
And that's my thing. I feel like a lot of men don't actually know the cheat code sometimes. Like, I feel like being a friend sometimes is the best way to actually approach a woman who you actually want more with, because you get to know each other. Like Gina said, there's no pressure. I feel like the best situations I've had would be people who did not outrightly move to me as you're someone I want to date. It was like a friendship thing. And then there was obviously interest and attraction there, whatever. And it grew to that. But I think the biggest part of this conversation that people have it, is people be like, oh, you need to go out, you need to do this and do that. There's people who are camping outside. They are human foxes. They're outside on regular. You're not a fox. I'm like, do you mean outside on a regular and they don't meet nobody? But like when I say they're outside on a regular, they're not outside to like have a good time, and if they meet someone, it's a bonus. They're outside willing and searching, and they don't meet nobody. Love doesn't work that way. I literally was having this conversation with my mum and my auntie the other day, and I was like, love is so. I'm not gonna say luck because I'm more of a blessings kind of girl, but love is so random. When you least expect to find it, and it's not one of those things. People will be like, oh, don't expect to find it will come. It's not one of those things. It's literally like the most random thing. I remember I watch a lot of like meet cute content online, and there was this couple that were together. They've been together for like 20 plus years or something, yeah. And the first time they ever saw each other was like at the airport or something, and they were like going wherever they were going. The next day, they saw each other again at a different location. The day after that, they saw each other, like, and he was like, "Are you stalking me? Like, what's going on?" And they were like, "Do you know what, let's go and get coffee." And then we've been together ever since. It's very, very random. Sometimes you're leaving what you think is the love of your life's house. You bump into a guy. That's the man you're gonna be forever. It's so random that I feel like when people say, "Go out more, do this more," I get it. But I'll be honest with you, I'm a homebody. God knows how He created me, and I'm gonna have a husband. So God knows in that home where I'm at is where my husband's gonna find me. It might be that one day I decide, let's let him go out today. That's gonna happen. Do you get me? You just never know.
But the thing is, sorry, go on.
No, I was just gonna say, do you know what? It's not even. I'm reading some of the comments and it's like, do you know what? It's not like I want a guy to approach me on a friend zone vibe.
Is that the same though? Is it the same? Is being in the friend zone and being a girl's friend the same?
No,
I don't think so.
It's not the same.
A friend zone is
never coming out there.
when the girl don't like you and she puts you there.
That's friend zone. Being a friend is, if the Lord wills, this will happen. But it's like it's not at the forefront of your mind either. You're just friends. You get me? And then it's actually But I think sometimes there is a level of interest there.
God will bless you richly.
Oh, here we go.
He just said, look, don't leave. No, because he made a point. I'm sorry. He just said, don't lead with your dick and get to know them first.
Period. Those are the guys that actually have time for. If you're leading with, anyway, you just don't know how I am anyway. But don't worry.
Anyway,
I get it. Obviously, there is, the balance has to be struck there and that, innit? But I think
some of you are just embarrassing.
Do you know what it is? I think it's just it's not a one size fits all type thing. Innit?
It's not.
Because some women definitely want intention. Like, okay, cool. Don't come here just be chatting about this, that, and the third. Make it known. You obviously want me. That's whatever. You know what I'm saying? But some, it's like, okay, cool. Like you're saying, be friends. That type of thing first. And so, you know what I'm saying?
I think I'm confused.
But you know what it is though?
No, honestly, because now you're talking, I'm like, what?
But you know what it is? I feel like your partner though. This is why I think friends approach is the best thing, because your partner should be your friend anyway. Ideally, do you know what I mean? Like whoever you're married to, whoever you want to spend life with, should ideally be your friend. So for me, like a friend is someone that I'm getting to know you and stuff, and we get to know our interests and whatever. Personally, I feel like that's a stronger bond than if you just come and meet me because this is what you want, and then now things don't work out. Now you're a damn stranger. Now I see you are flipping Delty. Now we're ducking and diving. However. If we grow a friendship, it's like, I feel like, because this is how it is with me. Something that grows from a friendship, when it doesn't work out, I understand why it doesn't work out. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I can't describe it, but it's like, that in itself is a closure. Is that, we know each other well enough to know that, actually, we were not compatible. But when you just go in wanting, I want to date you, I want to you don't spend enough time getting to know each other on a friendship level. You go straight on the dating level, which, like, will say, there's pressure there. There is that pressure to perform. And so when things don't work out, sometimes you're confused about why things don't work out. But really, I feel like if you get to know somebody truly, I know that your personality... She's doing that at Marks, by the way. I know your personality and my personality, or whatever interest we have, just doesn't align.
But can't the two happen simultaneously?
No, like, because the people that I dated, I didn't have a friendship and I dated. Bro, if it was raining hard, heavy, and I needed help, I'm driving past. But the friends, I'm gonna pick them up and drop them at my destination.
But that speaks to the type of relationship or the type of person that person was. You know what I'm saying? But at a certain stage, a man's obviously has intentions or whatever. Especially if his intentions are like the type of intention you want. He wants to be a friend. He wants to know everything about you. And I feel like that can happen at the same time. To
be honest, I should have taken a sabbatical today. I didn't come here to talk about relationships today.
No, honestly.
I don't know, but I do think at the end of the day, it is an individual thing. Like for me, the most beautiful things I've experienced when it comes to partners is when it's blossomed from friendship. Yeah. The ones where it's just straight gosh, written off the CV.
I hear you.
How do we get it? You're not down on love? You're not down bad?
No, we're not. Actually.
Are you? We are.
Always.
Love that for you, and I'm in the same boat. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming to my blood clot TED Talk.
No, I need to pinch you.
Oh, why?
I said, oh, why? What do you mean, why?
I wouldn't
You
even
came with the same energy. You came and talking about, you like down on love. Let me see.
Exactly.
The heck?
I know it was your ass.
You know what I was saying? You don't know you can get man Every man one, you know.
Do you know what? That is a thing though, because really and truly, I feel like you're so annoying. Because that is, you know, people talk about like being single and whatever. The reality, okay, not everybody that is being sensitive. Most people, if you actually wanted to, you could be married, and you could have all the things that society says to have. I just don't want it from that guy. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Everyone's always there's always some kind of options if you wanted that, but I'm holding out because I believe the grass is
But this is why some men, again, I don't want to take it to this direction, but this is why certain men don't have sympathy for certain women, because they feel like you did this to yourself.
No, because you need to step your pussy game up. Jeez. If you were so lit, I would want to be with you. I wouldn't settle with you. But instead, you're so unlit that I'm willing to wait for something I don't even know if it's out there.
Yeah, but
that's how dead you are.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Please step your pussy game up. That's the word.
No, she said, did you hear her? She said, I would rather wait for something I don't even know is out there than settle with you.
No, but that's
man. My choice.
I understand. but the thing is, though, but again, this is why men don't have the sympathy, because sometimes when they see you again and you're 40 and you're talking about men are this and men are that, they'll be like, okay.
But you know what? I always say that there's certain guys who have approached me who want to settle down with me and stuff like that, but I would die single in every lifetime I have.
Hey, listen.
You two are not good examples.
Let me give you hold on.
Every lifetime I choose to die single.
Let me say something.
And again, run it again.
There's a guy that like stayed back in the day, and like obviously we didn't speak for years, and now like we've like reconnected and stuff, and we're cool, and obviously he's doing these things, doing amazing career-wise, all that stuff, and he always like tries to make these jabs like, you thought I wasn't gonna be someone, innit? Like, you thought you wanted to ditch me and not take me serious because you're running after and it's always kind of like, you could have had this kind of vibe, and it's like, no, I'm fine.
Yeah,
like, do you know what I mean? They try coming on like look at what you're missing. I'm missing nothing. And I'm like, I'm missing nothing.
I'm like, all right.
Ain't nothing over there. It's always so cute though. It's like, oh, bless you. You think,
literally, bless you.
Bless
so
your
cute.
Heart. Impossible. Every lifetime, I'm gonna choose to die single.
Oh,
right. Anyways,
instead
of question of the day. Instead of being with them, absolutely.
That's why I said oof.
I thought it was
but just in case, you have to say it out too.
That's true. Power of the tongue.
This is it.
Every lifetime, I would choose to die single than be with certain individuals. That's the full sentence. Anyway, what's your lot's biggest guilty pleasure?
Do I have permission to use it though?
To use what?
Just a bit that I could clip.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Without the context.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, listen.
All right.
Yeah, thanks. I might do some rounds on Twitter, maybe TikTok. Yeah, man.
Brent, I don't care. You see me in my kimono?
All right.
I'm at peace. All right, very zen. So, what's your guys' biggest guilty pleasure?
I know you got a few.
Me?
Right.
Set pace, come on.
I ain't got a guilty pleasure. What's a guilty pleasure?
I hate that question, you know. I don't know what it is.
I was literally thinking the same thing. Like, how,
it's a thing like, isn't it something that you enjoy but that you hate you enjoy?
Okay.
I just think then...
A guilty pleasure is something... Really? Yeah, basically something that you enjoy despite it not being generally held in high regard or is unusual or weird.
Oh, like trash TV?
Yeah, so a lot of this is talking about, or like food. Like, some people might like Marmite. Oof. Like, that's nasty.
You don't like Marmite?
I've never tried it.
Neither have I, but I know I don't.
I just don't like the politics around it. So
that's why I don't like it. I've never even had it.
I've never had it.
I just know that I don't like it.
Because, some people like it, some people
don't.
The advert told me. I don't.
The advert programmed it in my mind that I hate
I'm not going to like it.
So I don't like it.
It's high in protein, by the way.
That's good for them.
Marmite's disgusting.
That's good for them.
I don't think it's disgusting, you know.
Marmite's
what does it taste like? In my mind, it gives me like orange marmalade vibes.
Nah, it's not like
crap.
that.
That's crap.
Yeah.
It's worse than that.
Orange marmalade is dead.
It's so dead.
I can see why people would hate it.
It's so you're a killer if you actually eat that.
What, marmalade?
We've not had it yet. No, marmalade.
To sit to wake up in the morning
jam
and want like a zesty taste in your mouth.
It's actually not.
You're sicko. Oh, here we go.
What?
Like marmalade?
He hates it.
I don't.
Do I like marmalade?
I don't like hate it, but I don't. It's not like I'm not.
So you're
I'm not I'm not going for marmalade like that. I don't hate it like these lot.
Where we
Like
going
I
with
like
this?
Marmite, but I'm not drawing for marmalade.
Oh, marmalades! I hate Marmite. Marmalades. I remember having to have it like as a kid. And I just used to think, what the F is this?
Yeah.
What did you have as a kid?
Was that sandwiches or toast?
On toast and that.
Yeah, toast.
You're on
Tell me on
toast.
sandwiches.
Toast.
There's toast.
Impossible for sandwiches.
I'm sure I had a marmalade sandwich.
You use jam, don't use
Man said you jam, man.
But isn't anything that's on bread already a sandwich?
Yeah, but marmalade's too rich for just bread, man. It's like
It's the fact that we're
That'd be like a
debating.
filling now. Man.
It's thick,
Oh gosh.
It's a bit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It ain't
The
marmalade.
orange strings.
Yeah, like it's got
What is
bits in it.
that? Like,
Marmalade
no.
bangs, man.
VFFR.
You have to put butter and then put marmalade. So
Oh, is
it all
it?
melts in. And it has to be toast, and you have to eat it when it is at your.
when you toast, when you get toast, you're supposed to put butter on it no matter what you put on it.
I don't, you know.
No.
I don't.
Are you
Is that
just-
what-
If
Is that crazy or something?
if I have peanut butter, I'm not putting butter. Do you put butter on?
You are eating dry toast.
No, it's not
It's
dry.
not dry
It's not
'cause
dry.
I've
You
got
put peanut
the
butter on it. Or jam.
Nah, you man are psychopaths.
No, if I'm
That's how
okay.
you waste the butter, man. Why?
Are you crazy?
Why do you butter with peanut butter?
With the chemical reaction in the butter and the spread is what makes it leng.
Do you like chocolate spread as well?
What?
Do you like with chocolate spread?
I'm not eating dry toast.
Do you do that with chocolate spread? So
Yes.
you're a killer.
Everything.
You put butter in and then you put chocolate in there. You're a
Listen,
psycho.
Chocolate spread is nasty.
You're a
so-
lunatic.
no, chocolate spread's leng.
Chocolate spread is banging.
I'm not eating dry bread.
It's not dry.
It is dry.
The spread, it's not dry.
These are sick. It's dry
What
toast.
else?
It's not the base.
If you're using peanut butter, you put butter and then peanut butter. Exactly.
Oh, that's when you draw the line. Go
Because
away.
it's got butter in the it's got butter in the title. So you're not, I'm not trying to overkill.
No,
Oh,
but
piss off.
it suits you to be like, oh, they don't know what they're doing. Let's add a bit of butter in it.
No, I could do, but no, I butter all my toast. No matter what I'm doing, I butter my toast. I'm sorry.
I said I'm not having it dry, you know, like the
I
spread
ain't
is
no
not.
dry toast.
I'm
I'll
not
butter
gonna
my
lie.
toast and then I'll deal with it after.
I don't butter my toast.
To be fair, you don't
make
wanna
like
see-
an egg sandwich. I don't butter it.
Yeah.
Because I fry the egg in like butter or oil. So for me, it's like it's already got that in there.
But how do you have your egg?
Well
Like,
done.
if it's a fried egg,
Yeah.
yeah, and toast.
Yeah, well done. Hard the yolk.
I have it whatever way I decide that day.
If there's no butter and it's well done, it's hard yolk. These
Nah,
are eating
I-
dry bread or dry toast with no sauce. What do you mean? How
It's
can
got
you have
small
an egg
lubrication.
sandwich, yeah, with no butter on the
Alright,
toast
mine
and
is-
no yolk
Hello?
from the egg?
Okay, listen. Mine's for health reasons. Okay, I
don't like
I don't need the extra calories.
My eggs are
the butter.
always well done. I have a phobia of runny eggs.
I love runny eggs though.
It literally.
I was eating a
gives me the
breakfast in
heebie-jeebies.
Losers Yard the other day, and he's like, "This brother's a psychopath. He ain't got no sauce. I got a full English breakfast." I'm saying, bro, how ain't I got no sauce? I got beans and I got egg yolk. Like,
What did he
what's
expect you to have ketchup?
what?
Ew.
What did he expect you to add ketchup?
I don't know.
Do you dip
Your
your
thing's fine though.
Do you dip your chips and stuff like that in the egg yolk?
In my bean, yeah, of
Oh,
course.
I
the
could never have
sauce is-
breakfast with you. That's in
sauce
I
is-
can't do that, you know.
The sauce is
You don't like egg yolk? I
saucing.
love egg yolk.
No, I have like my eggs have to be like I
Oh
literally.
yeah, you said you boiled it for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Then when you're taking off the
they're
shell,
grey,
it's
then
hard.
It's brown.
Then the
brown.
yolk's grey.
It's burnt.
It's burnt. And,
I
if you,
burnt,
and then
yeah.
you're getting rid. The whites are just stuck to the shell.
No, it's not. If you put in cold water,
No, man.
put in cold water, it
No, but
wouldn't.
then this no.
Like I proper hate runny eggs. It honestly gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Runny eggs are lit.
Ugh, stresses me out.
Listen, eggs have
So
so much
nasty.
range, man. It's like my favorite thing in the world. I love how.
But you're
so-
not gonna eat.
I know, but they're just so versatile.
It's
Like,
in
how
your
can you
blood.
be poached, scrambled, fried? I can put you bake.
You see, I can't have it poached
Can put
either.
you in my hair.
'Cause that's
like-
just.
I still don't understand how you can have it with porridge, you know.
Oh, with ease.
You said with ease.
With ease.
So like, do you
It don't
then-
taste. I don't get what everyone's doing.
Do you know what gets me? It's the fact that like the yolk breaks in it.
Yeah, I
Oh
can eat
my
it with- I'm not
gosh.
eating whites. I eat it with the yolk. Yes, and I'll put it in my mouth and with the same spoon, and I will chew it and swallow it, and go again until it finishes.
But you
It's
know, like,
normal.
normally, yeah, when you have like porridge alone, yeah, would you put like something with it, like something sweet?
I can, but I don't.
Do you just have it like plain?
I just have it plain.
Okay, cool.
So it'll be plain with. It depends on it.
More
If I
plain.
want it with blueberries and strawberries and honey and banana or whatever, then I'll go down that road. But
Would you put
times
egg
out-
in that as well?
No. But 9
Girl,
times.
don't act like that's where we draw the
I
line.
gave you
You're like,
attitude,
no,
like, how dare you, how dare you.
Why would I do that?
But otherwise, generally speaking, and it'll be more than one egg. It'll be like two boiled eggs and thingy, and I just pour it in there, and then and basically, people actually get sick, and I'm like, you don't need to grow up. I'll literally cut this. So it's like, you know when you eat things together. So it's not like I want it separate. I want the egg with
In
the
the
porridge.
thing.
I'll break it with the spoon and then have it together. Love it. Someone else actually, I saw what's it called? Rashid from Link Up TV on Saturday. And he was like, oh, I've been trying the boiled egg and oats thing that you think is actually not that bad. I was
First
like,
of all, Rashid, it's not something to try. The
do you
last
know
time I
what?
called you,
No,
it didn't.
you know when I first put it up and everyone lost their mind?
Yeah, as
I
it
had
should
a
have.
few people message me on the side who were Nigerian, to be fair.
It's a lie.
Because obviously Nigerians
Nah.
were the ones doing the most.
They're probably as
cussing
Nigerian as
Ghanaians.
E-Man is Nigerian.
They
don't count.
And they were like, oh, they messaged me on the side. It was so funny. It was like, oh, don't tell anyone.
Yeah, they
this.
know why.
Don't tell anyone this. But
If you land in Murtala, what's it called, airport, your passport confiscated. They know they have to be quiet about it. It's not to be
and
loud
they were
about.
like, no, they're like, this actually isn't bad. But do you know the crazy thing is, yeah? Everyone's like, oh, you're weird. I'm like, do you know what? In my household, like, me and my brothers were like,
You're
even
raised
I had a
an egg.
conversation with my brother and he was like, yes, it's normal. We actually were raised, my mum used to give, it was a breakfast.
That's what's so interesting about upbringings, yeah. Like things that you do in your home and you think the world at large
I've always thought it was
moves
normal.
like that, and then now you get outside and you're the weirdo.
And everyone's in my weird. But then when I went to Ghana, and again, I went to the gym and then the boys went to get breakfast. And when they came, and that's exactly what they were having. And I was like, I knew I wasn't going crazy. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's normal.
You're not going crazy, just all going crazy.
Exactly.
Just your siblings.
But it doesn't give me a runny belly. Like, it's never given me a runny belly. I'm
No, because
literally
you're
fine.
used to it.
Yeah.
If I did, that might be what takes me out.
Yeah, to be fair.
Who
But,
knows?
yeah.
But to be, I'm weird with eggs though, to be fair. Like, you know when people cook stew as well and they just have eggs and... Gosh, I can't do that.
I put egg
I
in
don't mind
everything, though.
This is why you're dating struggling. You can't be eating egg and stew and egg and
I
porridge
eat egg
around
with
people
everything.
and things. This is why that's why these men are just gonna leave you alone at the end of the day.
You know what? That shut everyone
First
up.
of all,
though.
you're an
There's a-
idiot. Because she does it, I don't know, we're in the same boat. Don't try it.
Exactly. So what's your answer for that?
Oh no, but
I don't know. I don't know how we'll look a man in the face if I see him eating oats and boiled egg in the morning.
Yeah, that's not gonna work for me.
I don't know.
That's
I
mad.
don't know.
The thing is, I do not shy away. Who I am is who I am. You know what I mean?
You hear that, late men? You got asked. A
No,
first date
you have to
question
take me
with
as
Gina.
I am. I do not believe in like. I'm not playing myself down. Why?
So this is my story and I'm sticking with it.
Because ultimately this is who I am, innit? And if you can't rock with me like this, then it's fine. Because I eat
Mate.
boiled egg and oats.
Maybe show that one a bit later.
There's bigger fish to fry, my dear. Way
Man
bigger
said,
fish to
let them
fry.
be in.
Oh, and then
Then they have more reasons to love you than,
no, it's fine.
than the egg and oats.
No.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. All right, so no one's got guilty pleasures. All right, let's get into headlines then.
Do it.
Anything with Love Island?
Oh, Love Island's a guilty pleasure, isn't it?
Mehdi, yeah, it is my guilty pleasure because I want to slap him.
I missed it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, man.
Whitney basically
I
told
had the
Mehdi
worst
to
day of
his
my
face that he's a dickhead.
I could hear
Oh,
it in
is
the
it?
background.
Yeah, so basically, yeah.
Oh,
you
she
know?
did she tell him though?
Yeah, she said, not dickhead, but she said you're very mean. She said you're always nice to everybody, but you're always mean to me, and it was sad because you know what's annoying is that he's got so many macro aggressions and it's not micro anymore, it's macro now. Because basically, you know how he was lipsing everybody up and violating hella health codes and whatever. She said to him like, why did you kiss everybody? It was her, Zach was sitting next to her, then Mehdi, then Catherine and Scott. So she goes, oh, why were you kissing everybody? He goes, oh, it was a challenge. She turned straight to Zach. She said, why'd you kiss me? And he was like, oh, it just like made sense to you, like a little tease. She's like, yeah, but why me though? And he was like, oh, I just wanted to give you like a teaser kind of thing. She's like, okay. And then she was like, She's like, I like a man who, what did she say? Something like, I like a man who isn't for everybody. That's it. She's like, I like a man who isn't for everybody. Medicine, they're all acting all weird or whatever. He was like, he could tell there's an issue. Then he says to her, because I guess in a way, I do get his point about her communication. Because he was like, oh, what's the matter? But the thing is, I think the issue is that whenever he approaches her, he's like, you have an attitude. And she hasn't said anything. So I feel like that's what gets her back up. She's like, I've got nothing to say to you. So they were talking or whatever. He then walks up and leaves while she's sitting there still talking to him. She's like, all right, cool, whatever. They have a conversation again. And she was just like, I feel like she's like, yeah, you're nice to everybody. You're kind to everybody, but you're always mean to me, whatever. And then everyone else in the house seems to think that Whitney likes Mehdi more than Mehdi likes Whitney. She basically just said to him, like, do you know, are you closed off? And he said, no, he's not. And she said, all right, then. And then he was like, are you? And she was like, well, no, I'm not going to be closed off if you're not closed off, kind of thing. So essentially, I feel like in her way, I feel like she's slowly trying to pull back from him. And then Tyreek, who told Ella, talking about, you know, he misses the game or whatever, he's moving like he's flipping Ghost St. Patrick. Like, there's no game. You have no game. You've slept with over 100 people. Not one lick of game has gone into that. It's pussy, you just get into it. There's no game that's got you that many bodies. But anyway, whatever, right? He had the whole thing about he misses the game or whatever. telling Ella that again. They go on their first date. Now he's ready to be closed off. But my thing is, I think he's ready to be closed off in this villa. Do you know what I mean? But she's not clocking onto that. Because when they move to Casa More, he's going to be wide open.
That's what he's finally told her now. I'm ready to be closed off now.
Yeah, because before they went on their date, he said he needed like 2-3 days. And she was like, what's going to change in 2-3 days? And he was like, well, he just needs time to think. And blah, blah, blah. And she's like, yeah, but you said you missed the game. Like, what is there to miss? And he was like, this is why I think he thinks he's a drug dealer. He's like, oh, it's all I've known. Your G unit. Always just like, he looked like Nelly on the rapper yesterday, on the date yesterday. It was ridiculous. Then he was like, yeah, like he's like, I feel like, it's all I've known, it's all I've known. Anyways, he then tells her that they want to settle down. Catherine and Scott as well. He basically said how there's no one else is coming in, and that basically he's not interested in anybody else, and he wants to just be focused on Catherine. So they go together now as well. Jess wanted to talk to Sammy about what was going on, even though he's kissed Leah. Mal and who was she with?
Miles with Sammy, innit?
Sammy, yeah. So yes, they kissed as well. What happened? What else happened? That was it. I feel like the Whitney thing and the Mehdi thing, was the biggest thing. And then tonight, what happens tonight? Is there a coupling? Oh, we got to vote for our favourite girl and boy. So, God willing, Mehdi's out tonight. People have turned against him.
You reckon though?
Yeah, they have. Because you know, it's one of those things where it's like, you can just see the way he talks to her. Like, if she's sitting there, he'll be like, oh, why'd you have an attitude? She hasn't done anything. She hasn't said anything. And so it's like, honestly, it's giving racism, man. And the way he talks as well, like, he just hates the girl.
Yeah, because he looks like a different person. He's like always happy and jovial and all that. And the only time you see that other side of him is when he's dealing with Whitney.
Well, do you know, he said that to the boys. He was like, how basically he feels like with Whitney, he keeps seeing sides of her that he doesn't like. I'm like, what side have you seen? And he's like, yeah, but like these sides, he's like, well, I don't want to judge her off it because it only happens when we arguments. I said, nah, man, it's mad. But I think I want her and Zachariah to get on. Oh, Zach tried to kiss Katie. She said, slow down.
No way.
Yes. He went up to her. He went up, when they went on the terrace. How could I forget that? Went on the terrace, right? You know when they start doing that little small talk? You know, you're cute. No, you're cute. No, all that stupid foolishness they do. So disgusting. And then he tried to grab her neck and she was like, oh. She literally did this. Say, what are you doing? He was like, I want to kiss you. She was like, you want to kiss me? He was like, yeah, I want to kiss you. And she goes, let's wait. She's like, I've been here 2 days. She said, I've been here 2 days. She's like, this way. And he was like, okay, that's cool. He's like, yeah. She was like, oh, like, I hope that's okay. He's like, yeah, don't be silly. Of course it's fine. When they're walking out, she's like, don't be embarrassed or anything. And he was like, don't be stupid. Of course I'm not. He goes to the boys here. He goes, yeah, man, I got patted. But then he was like, no, but it turned me on though. I said, no, it didn't. You're a damn liar. He's trying to flip the narrative. Because you know when Molly went on, what's it called, After Sun, she said she's going to wait for Zach. She's going to wait for him. And Maya was like, are you? She said, yeah, I'm going to wait for him. But I think that as someone waiting for a guy, if I see him try to move on so quickly without me, and essentially get slapped in the throat, I would want that for myself personally. So Molly, wherever you are, I think it's time to start replying to your DMs.
She's been replying, man. She's waiting with man in her crutches.
It was so embarrassing. It was so orcs. And then do you know what's bad about the producers as well? They were playing like, you know, like the lovely like fairy music, and it was like a record scratch when she was like, no. It was so embarrassing. But I mean, that was the main things that happened, to be fair. But hopefully tonight we get to see you guys. And I need it to be Mehdi. Like, I'm dying for it.
Oh, well, it sounds like I didn't miss too much then. That's all right.
It was dead, in all honesty. But, right, that's that. Let's get into our headlines.
All right, so our first headline, we've heard from the Wagner boss, man. So the exiled Wagner boss, Yevgeny Prigozhin, has released an audio message for the first time since abandoning a march to Moscow. In the 11-minute clip, he defended his so-called March for Justice, which was launched amid claims that 30 Wagner troops had been killed in a rocket attack ordered by Russian military leaders. He said, we started our march because of an injustice. But explaining why the advance was abandoned, Prigozhin said he did not want to shed Russian blood and insisted that he had no intention of overthrowing the government. He also added, We have shown the level of organization that an army must meet. Describing the moment he decided to order his fighters to halt their defense on Moscow, Prigozhin said, "We felt that the demonstration of what we were going to do was enough, and our decision to turn back was influenced by two most important factors. The first factor was that we did not want to shed Russian blood. And the second factor was that we were going for a demonstration of our protests, not to overthrow the government in the country." Prigozhin also insisted that he's still receiving words of support from civilians, and some of his fighters were greeted with flags. He did not offer any details about where he was or what his future plans are. Second headline, it's a bit mad, a bit of a trigger warning here of SA. And a novelist and TV producer has accused a conservative mayoral hopeful of groping her 10 years ago. So Daisy Goodwin told The Times that Daniel Korski sexually assaulted her by putting his hand on her breast during a meeting at Downing Street. He has denied the allegation in the strongest possible terms. Miss Goodwin, who is a creator of TV series Victoria, he met with Mr. Korski, who was then a special advisor to David Cameron, to discuss a proposed TV show. Miss Goodwin told The Times that she met the government special advisor, also known as SPADS, at a social event, and he suggested that they meet. So she said Mr. Korski arrived late for the meeting and remarked on her sunglasses and said that Goodwin looked like Monica Bellucci, who's the 50-something-year-old Italian actress who had recently made headlines by appearing in a Bond film opposite Daniel Craig as an older woman. Ms. Goodwin said that this felt kind of, awkwardly flirtatious and odd. These are her words. She also said that during the meeting, Mr. Korski put his feet on the edge of my chair, leaning back so that I could get a clear view of his crotch. Right? Yeah, so that's what he was doing.
That's nasty.
Yeah, and she also said that when we both stood up at the end of the meeting, I went to the door, the SPAD, which is him, stepped towards me and suddenly put his hand on my breast. Astonished, I said loudly, "Are you really touching my breast?" And the man, the SPAD, sprang away from me and I left. And the spokesperson for Mr. Korski told the BBC that in the strongest possible terms, Dan categorically denies any allegation of inappropriate behaviour whatsoever. Last headline is about Stephen Lawrence murder. Trigger warning here. And a new suspect has been named over the murder of Stephen Lawrence 30 years after he was stabbed to death in southeast London. So the Met Police said that Matthew Whyte was arrested twice over the 18-year-old's killing, but on both occasions there wasn't enough evidence for prosecution. Mr. Lawrence was murdered in a racist attack while waiting for a bus in Eltham on the 22nd of April 1993. 5 men were arrested over the murder, but just 2 of his suspected killers, David Norris and Gary Dobson, were jailed, with the 3 never prosecuted. Both were given life sentences in 2012 after being found guilty of murder. The bungled original investigation, hampered by racism and alleged police corruption, meant it took over 20 years, or nearly 20 years, for these convictions. The trial judge, Mr. Justice Treacy, said at the time, on the evidence before the court, there are still 3 or 4 other killers of Stephen Lawrence at large. The identification of the 6th suspect, Whyte, who now is aged 50, who died, aged 50 in 2021, comes after BBC investigation, which claimed he had a central role in the case. So Stephen's mother, Baroness Lawrence, said the latest revelation, was shocking but unsurprising, given the Met's repeated failings in the case. She also said that it should not have taken a journalist to do the job that a huge, highly resourced institution should have done. It simply beggars belief that those paid to do a job continue to fail at doing it. And that's it for the headlines.
Thank you. Let's get into our topic of the day. What you saying?
All right, so today's topic of the day. In fact, pardon me, where am I going?
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brent. So, before we start and go into today's topic of the day,
what's the formal?
Huh?
What's the formal?
No, I just want to remind the people that it's a continuation for the first 10, 15 minutes of yesterday, because obviously a lot of people were complaining. But he was primarily complaining the men, right? Or was it the women?
Well, the women were complaining, but the men were agreeing.
Were agreeing. A lot of the men were talking, saying, yo, the women are right. And Brent said very clearly, because everyone was very silent. Brent spoke very clearly, right? There was no ambiguity anywhere. He said, people, especially the men that are talking, please send in your voice notes, email, anything you want. Just communicate what you want to say to these beautiful black women out there. How many people got back to you, Brent?
None.
That's wild.
So, Black men, you're just talking, man. I know what's going on. However, I will big up Mr. Fenan, who did communicate in the community his answers, basically. And I'm going to read them out. He said, I don't want to repeat anything that's already been said, so I'm going to try and say what I feel and not what I think about black women. The first thing is inspiring. They embody everything that I feel it is to be human. Every single positive trait a human has, they have. It's not about perfection, though they are definitely the closest, but their capacity to be able to be anything and do anything is mad inspiring.
That's so lovely.
Yes, I thought I was going to get home. Second thing.
It's so annoying.
I knew that was going to happen as well, you know. Second thing is empathy. So this word is...
Is this still Fenan?
Yeah. All of this is Fenan. He's the only one that you know what I mean, took the assignment seriously. You know what I'm saying? Everyone was complaining. Empathy, this word is misused a lot, but that's not the case when it comes to black women. They genuinely will give anyone that moves respectfully grace, regardless of any belief differences that they may have. However, though sometimes not present in relationships, they won't empathize their way into being disrespected if you're moving stupid. So empathy right there. Obviously, it was meant to be 2, but he gave in a 3rd. You know what I'm saying? So big up for
Thank God, because no one else said anything.
And he said intelligence, having both emotional and intellectual intelligence makes them extremely powerful. And there's actually a lot of data to support this. So it's not just feelings here. He's actually come with like substantial facts. Example, black women are the fastest growing demographic of entrepreneurs in America. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know that. So big up the black women in America and all across the world, man. Also, he also mentions there's 2 cool inventions that black women made that he just discovered. First was Valerie Thomas was behind the illusion transmitter, which NASA later used in its satellite technology. And Dr. Patricia Bath was an ophthalmologist who invented a cutting-edge device for cataract surgery. And also he said, oh yeah, I'm mad, and obviously black women are mad sexy. He said, I don't know how the script is to go with this, but if it's needed, it can be done. You know what I'm saying? So big up Fenan for that, man. And big up the black women out there, man.
Well, so that's that on that.
Yeah.
We need 15 minutes.
Not at all.
Another black woman, I guess, left a message on YouTube. It reads as follows. As a black woman, what I love about black women is our ability to reach amazing heights in all aspects of life. Our physical beauty, how we light up the room and can change the vibe when we arrive. Our creativity, the way we love and show up in friendships. Our appreciation of our cultures and passion for learning about them. Our wit, and we are extremely funny.
All right.
Facts, man. Big facts, big facts.
Love that.
All right. So,
Excuse me?
I said we've we've covered that.
We sure have.
Yes.
You can't say you didn't try.
Yeah.
So, all right.
all right. So today's topic of the day. I feel like we kind of touched on some of today's topic of the day, like earlier when we were talking about the stuff that Gina spoke. I'm just, you know.
After you
I'm browsing the room.
After you gave me bombastic side eye, criminal side eye.
And basically, what it was going to be really is, what do you think the main or just some challenges are of being a black woman? So,
Having to always plan your hairstyles in advance and figure that stuff out.
Like,
I feel like that's something that's exclusive to us and us only. In terms of even if it's sports, going on holidays, do you know what I mean?
just
You have
even
to,
life.
It's something that we have to factor in.
is that
It
really
drains
the case,
me.
though?
Yes,
Yeah.
it drains me. Like, it physically, I dedicate a lot of my time thinking about my hair. And it's actually an unhealthy amount. And I hate that for me. I feel like black women in general do consider their hair, but there's a few of us who actually, I don't want to say we're consumed by it, but it's how we've been, because I was raised basically, my hair is attached to my beauty. And I hate that for me. I'm trying to break that down. I don't like that. So when my hair is like like I would actually not feel pretty. I won't feel beautiful. Like it's a whole thing, and it really, really messes in my head. I hate it so much. So that's really one of my stresses in this life.
I want to ask a couple questions about it here, right? And they may sound very, very stupid, and so you guys have to, forgive me. But first thing is, obviously you guys mentioned that black women, you have to kind of really think about your hair, this, that, and the third, right? Yeah. And the reason why I ask is that really the case is, do you feel like for example, with white women, all the other races out there, right? Do you feel like they care less about their hair rather than, and you guys care maybe too much about your hair? Or is it more so you guys are doing what you should be doing, as in just average, and they're just doing average?
I think they don't have much to do with their hair. Like their texture is their texture, heat, cold, whatever it is that. With black hair texture is different. Like you can straighten your hair, you can go and spend hundreds of pounds getting a nice silk press, whatever. You step outside, it's humid. That's all you want down the drain. Now your hair's reverted back to what it was. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think it's a thing where they think less. They have less to think about. And that's it. Because they just put their hair in a messy bun and off they go. But with black hair, because of our texture, it requires more work by default. It requires more attention. And so we're going to give more attention and more time and energy into it because that is what it requires by its default.
But is that, again, this may sound silly, but is that basically you guys deciding that though? So for example, right, surely, again, I don't know, but there must be like white girls out there, right, who have a certain type of hair type, right? But when they go into certain settings, maybe a hot country, or maybe when they come out the pool, their hair changes, right?
Yeah.
But they don't necessarily, again, I don't know, but they don't necessarily like seem to care to then do everything to get it back to how they left the house.
No, but they do though, because, sorry, you know the white girls in the offices with the frizzy hair, they let you know the hair is flipping frizzy. They let that, do you know what I mean? So again, if your hair texture is high maintenance by its natural form of being high maintenance, then it's going to be that. But again, white people, like Caucasian people like that, they're not the norm. With black people, the norm is having a hair texture that does require more attention and stuff like that. So I don't think it's necessarily that we worry about it too much. We have to. If you want to have healthy hair, you have to think about your hair. You have to take care of it. You have to dedicate time, money, and all these things into it.
Is that more so because you want to have it a particular style though?
No, that is just in the maintenance of it by itself. Like even my hair's been natural for the past 2 weeks. It was really, really hot, and I'm not dealing with any nonsense. When I go to the gym, my hair is not this silky. When I'm done working out, now it's puffy. Now when I get home, I have to do this and do that so that the next morning I can kind of deal with it again. Do you get what I mean? So just by its natural state, the hair requires attention and care and all that kind of stuff. Do you know?
No, sorry, I just saw a comment, and I don't have the capacity for this stuff today, so I'm just
choosing peace.
Gonna let it slide on by.
I'm choosing peace, but yeah.
Other challenges.
Sorry. Other challenges of black women. I think also what I was talking about with Whitney, right, on Love Island. This guy is intentionally, in my opinion, he antagonizes her by the things that he said. He uses certain languages that is harmful and whatever. And yes, I know that it was so funny, when she was asking about him kissing everybody. She's like, I get your French, but you don't have to kiss everybody. It was the whole thing. It was so funny. But do you know what I mean? So sometimes it's like, you can't, as a black woman, you have to be, someone can piss you off, but you can't react in the way everybody else has the liberty to react, because when it's you, it's a whole other narrative. We could all be in a room, everyone can get angry, but when the black woman gets angry, it's like, oh, she's sassy, and oh, the angry black woman, or she's just got an attitude. It's so annoying. So I think it's that. I think it's just consistently having to kind of just compress yourself, even in situations where you are justified to quote unquote move mad. You can't. You're limited in how you can react to things because of the stereotypes that's put on you. Very difficult. I was going to slap a bitch.
Good morning, caller.
Morning.
Hello.
Can you call back? We can't hear you.
Did they call on WhatsApp?
Huh?
Did they call on WhatsApp?
Yeah, they did. Call again, caller. Thank you.
But yeah.
Okay, so like some of these things, yeah. Do you feel open?
Nothing. Sorry.
I can see what you.
Hello, caller.
Guys, can you hear?
Yeah, we can hear.
Yes, morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. It's Abiola.
Love that for you.
Morning.
Sorry,
Adiola.
Sorry.
Adiola,
Madam,
Abiola.
sorry. Morning.
Morning, Abiola.
I just wanted to ask you what Esther was saying actually about how it's so hard not to come across as, obviously you guys have spoken about how one of the good thing is to be strong and whatever else, but it always comes across as us being the angry black woman in the end.
Yeah.
And even with Whitney or Love Island or whatever, you can tell that they're working extra hard not to come across as that, because when you other series on, like American TV reality, we always come across as ratchet, ghetto, like doing the most, being extra, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like
Hello? We can't hear you. Damn it. All right.
Maybe she pressed mute.
No.
Yeah, she'll
Your
come back.
connection is not really good. Maybe send a voice note and we can play it. But yeah.
Do you feel like you got that type of preparation though, like in the house? Or do you feel like our parents came with a different type of struggle?
No, because again, but my responses to questions are always going to be different because I grew up in Nigeria. And it's just like, honestly, yeah, being able to live in two places and like not like living there as a kid, as in living there enough to I was 13 and living here, gosh, y'all have been going through it here. Do you know what I mean? Like all these things I didn't have to think about back there, like, because everyone was black. There was I didn't know of any, I think the only stereotypes I knew were like tribal stereotypes. That's different, as in like Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa. There's those stereotypes there and whatever. But yeah, I would say it was when I came here that I knew there was the whole thing about, being an angry black woman. And to be fair though, there is a thing about Yoruba women even in Nigeria. But, do you know what I mean? That's fine. Because we're all black, it's okay. Do you get what I mean? But it's here that it's just, because literally you can be sitting down. I've told you guys about in the office, sometimes they're like, oh, hey, trouble. I've never done anything. I'm just calm. Do you know what I mean? Even when you're not doing anything, or if someone asks me a question, I'm like, oh no, I don't think so. And they'll be like, oh, sassy. What? We're talking about croissant. You asked if I wanted a pan of chocolate. I said I don't. And here we are. Now I'm sassy. Do you get what I mean? I don't know. I feel like our parents did have that. Because a lot of times when you speak to the older African generation or the black generation, they have this mindset of be grateful that you're here because this is not our country anyway. So don't complain about things because it's like they're doing us a favor by us being here. So for me, I feel like that's them. That is them dimming their light. That is them not wanting to, even when they're facing things that's clear discrimination, because it's not their country, they don't want to say. That's why they don't understand when the young generation, that when we're doing the whole Black Lives Matter movement and we're doing all these things, they're thinking, this is not your country. You're blessed to be able to be here in the first place. Now you're going to ask for equality. Be grateful. You're here. Do you get what I mean? So I think they had that too. It's just their generation is not the ones who spoke up. But I think with every generation gets more vocal. Because you see them Gen Z guys?
Yeah.
They're telling their managers where to go. I'm like, what? I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Do you get what? I'm close to their age enough. And so I feel like every generation has its own thing and decides, you know what, this we're not gonna stand up for it. Because I think our generation we're still quiet. I'm still quiet. Like, I still watch myself in the office and stuff like that. If someone pissed me off and stuff, I think twice before I react to it. Because I know again what the narrative is going to be. I'm not going to be the one who's believed. I had a white woman cry on me one time at work. I said, channeled my inner Karen. I started crying too. Do you want to cry me so I can cry? Well, you're right. I said, let's cry then. Let's see who cries longer because you don't know about me. I can cry. And literally, and then when I explained the situation, thankfully was the person sorting out the situation was someone who likes me anyway. And they know that she's a bit of a Karen. So, but had it not, say he wasn't in that day and it was someone else, they would have just thought I was the one. And when I explained the situation, he was like, oh, Esther. He's like, I'm sorry, I wasted your time. Just forget. But do you get what I mean? Like, it's that. So, it's, yeah.
So you cried too.
So I cried. Don't get me fired. One thing I can do what I need to do.
Can you cry in
to
queue?
survive? Sorry?
Can you cry in queue?
Yeah.
Hello?
Wow. Can you cry in queue?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, nigga, you know I cannot.
I cry for less.
I'm not emotionally
Good morning,
wired
caller.
that way.
I just take me to a sad time. And
Good morning, Christy. How are you?
Morning.
Morning. Highly disappointed about the attributes for us. Yes, but we move.
You know, I knew from the tone of it when she said hello. I just knew.
Yeah, so that was highly disappointing. But
Actually, you know
anyway,
what, Christy, before you move on, before you move on, why were you disappointed?
Yeah, get off your heart, Christy, okay?
Because there were like some people who did like some really good contributions, I think.
no, yeah, I felt like, you know, when I said the men room for improvement was the individualism and like kind of like centering. It kind of was like that yesterday. It was like when in saying what it was more in like for them, like, and I get it, but it's like, okay, can we just focus? It turned into, even though of that caller, he was just saying, oh, it turned about men. And I'm just like, how did we get here? I was just like, can we just not have, I don't understand how hard it was to just get two positive attributes. It was so well to me. And it was so funny to me because I actually thought it was going to be the opposite. I thought the men was like, oh, here, the women ain't going to say nothing good and blah, blah, blah. And you lot actually felt good after that session. Like, they didn't even want the topic of the day to finish. So the fact that you lot did not even want the topic of the day to finish, but then the contrast of yesterday's, I'm sorry, I was very, very deflated. And I'm queen of BOE, but that was disappointing.
Emmanuel, after the show, this little insight, he said that he just played along with the compliments. So when Izzy said it, like we didn't want it to finish, that was all part of his plan.
Iman is trying to think,
I'm trying to understand what's going on.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, I'm confused, Brent. But anyway.
I didn't get what you mean, Christy, though, I mentioned something similar. Remember I was talking about DC Young Fly when he did this post about his wife. And then, okay, actually, let me not say DC, but you know, like, say someone says, oh, what's the best thing about your partner? And they just bang on about the fact she's a great mother. It's like, okay, anything else?
Yeah.
Is she nice? Is she kind to you? Or do you know what I mean? Like, oh, she's just a great mother. She's a great mother and a great wife. It's like, all right.
But that might be
I
what's
think
important to him.
black women are very instrumental in a
that
lot
might
of.
be what's important to him. That might be what he likes. That's what her endearing feature that he
But
loves. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, but if I compliment you, if my only compliments of you are to do with what you do for me,
his children might be the most important thing to him in the world, and you're their mother. This is so you trump that. What do you mean? Why are you not taking negative things out of a compliment?
But you know what it is though? It's a personal thing. Personally, I like when people compliment me, for the compliment to be centered around me, my character, and who I am as a person, what you know of me, your personal experience with me. You can say I'm a mother and I'm a great mother and whatever. Of course, that's a compliment. But if that's all you have to say about me, if every compliment that you have to say about me ties back to my service of other people, that's an issue for me.
Question. If someone says...
Christy.
She's all right.
Okay. Brent.
If someone says, I love her strength, is that a little bit of a trigger?
Yes, because again, it ties back to the whole thing about black women always having to, like, you have to be strong. You can't react to things. You have to... Saying strength is definitely a trigger, man. Why have I got to be strong?
Yeah, that's what I was actually going to say.
Gosh.
Even to the question of the challenges, the perception of us, we don't get to be,
just
damsels in distress. We don't get to be we have so many labels put upon us, and we can't just move about the world freely and just be like, I'm just being me.
Question.
I'm just being me. I'm not being aggressive. I'm not being thingy. Don't add any adjective after me. Like, I'm just being me.
I understand as to why it is the whole strength thing triggers,
Yeah.
right? But I also understand that when it is that you also call them independent and fiercely independent,
Yeah.
there's a hell of a lot of strength in there that isn't centering men.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah. But then when you think about why is a lot of women are independent is because they've been let down by men.
Yeah, you see, I also understand.
Do you get what I mean? So this is why
I
it's...
also understand because you were isolating a particular series of events.
Yeah.
But if I look at Gina and her fitness
Yeah.
rise, I could call her independent. She's self-employed.
Yeah.
She's independent.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that has nothing to do with
With the man thing.
centering men. Do
Yeah.
you understand? So where you can use these particular adjectives, I could understand, depending on the context in which it's
Yeah.
used, it could be something that doesn't trigger, and
Yeah.
it could be something that triggers.
Absolutely. Because the thing is that with independence can be definitely be a compliment. But like we were talking about earlier about when it comes to relationships or whatever, people also can use that to insult you. Of, yeah, but don't you think you're too independent? That's why a man wouldn't want to come in because he feels like he can't take care of you. He feels there's nothing they can bring to him. Do you get me? So there's certain compliments or certain words that you would give to me as a compliment, but then elsewhere it's been used as an insult for me. So when I then meet
I
you,
feel like
100%, but it will still drop as a trigger for you if I don't qualify it.
no.
yeah,
Do you understand? So I understand how you will get vexed because you don't mean it in a way she's taking it. Do you
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah, no, at the end of the day, we done this the other day, even though you are saying the examples were different or whatever. We done this the other day. It was all harmonious. It was fine. You get me? Then, out of the goodness of our heart, we decided to say some nice things about women and they throw it in our face. It's just not good enough. This is what the problem is. We just can't
I'll be
win,
honest, I
bro.
think you guys
We just ain't never going to be able to win, bro. We were saying nothing but positivity and nice things about these women. You get what I'm trying to say? What
But
they
you know
mean
what
to
is-
us
but you know what is-
and how
it's
we see them.
what-
And it's a problem.
No,
It's
what
man them.
Christie
Just be
said,
quiet. This is why
though.
this is why I don't even get involved when I get them all
It was
talking.
a
I'm just
struggle.
here.
No,
Let them
it
do
was a
their
struggle.
thing.
It was a
It's what
struggle.
Christie said,
No, it was
though.
a struggle.
as a woman, you're
It was
always
a struggle.
someone something. I remember I had that conversation with my mum.
No, it was a struggle.
Sorry, Christy. I remember I had that conversation one time with someone like old woman in my life one time. And I was like, you're telling me I'm someone's daughter, I'm someone's sister, and that comes with responsibilities, right? Then I'm gonna go on to be someone's wife, then I'm gonna go on to be someone's mum. When will I ever get to be my someone? Like, when will I ever not have to, like, my life will not center around being responsible for somebody? And that's a real thing for women. It's a very real thing. I feel like as a man, you wouldn't get it.
Isn't it the same for men? What?
No,
Why?
it's not, because men and women are raised very differently.
We're different, but we're always something. Something.
No, but
we are.
Nah, the level of the responsibility men and women have is very different,
They're different, yeah, but we have.
and how you're raised is different.
100%. But we have the same like responsibilities. Our thing, basically, what you guys have, we have something that's unique to us.
No, but
too.
ours is to do with our identity being stripped from when we're young, from how it is that we're raised. Like, we're raised that we're going to be someone's mum one day.
Yeah.
You're going to, even if you're 6 and 7 years old, you're going to be someone's mum one day. You're going to be someone's wife one day.
Mm-hmm.
Men, your identity is not stripped off you like that from young.
can
So
be.
this is what I'm saying. It can be, but it's not for the majority of part. That's why the number of absent fathers is doing what it's doing in stats wise. But anyways, this is what I'm trying to make, right? I'm back from sabbatical. I'm trying to go down that road. This is not what I'm here for today. But this is what I'm saying. When it comes to women, you should have brought this up on your day on Friday. When it comes to women, is that thing about you're always somebody something. Your identity is stripped from you in some form of way. You don't have to agree, but the women get it. The girls that get it, get it. The ones that don't, I'm glad you've lived very privileged lives. I'm glad you don't get it. I wish I didn't get it either.
I've always been
That's who we
someone's
are.
son
This is how I see
and
it as
someone's
well.
cousin, and I'm gonna grow up to be someone's uncle and someone's
someone's
father,
father,
and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's
That's
the same
fantastic.
thing.
Sorry,
And the
Christy, what was the
things-
point you were going to make, Christy? I don't know what we're doing here. I'm not doing oppression Olympics or anything.
We're not.
Good
You know
morning,
what? Go on,
Christy.
Christy. Go on,
Please
Christy.
speak.
No, the point I was just trying to make in terms of the difficulty, I just don't think we get the luxury of just being.
Yeah.
We don't get that. That's our challenge. We actually don't get the luxury of just being. There's always some type of label that's put upon us, and it's just like, okay, like, I didn't want to bring the others into it, but in comparison, the perceptions are very different. Okay, if we cry, it's like, okay, why are you crying for?
Literally.
they cry, everyone runs to the rescue.
Who's they?
We need to find out why they're crying.
Who's they?
You know who they is.
So that's in
You know who
in
they is.
general.
No, the reason why
White women. Come on.
No.
Come on.
The reason why I'm asking the reason why I'm asking that is who is the they and who's running to their rescue?
I'm saying how they are. How they're championing in their culture or in their way. They are held up to a standard, isn't it? We're not held up to that same standard.
Okay, so you're saying white men, for example, running to.
No one's come. It's not like everyone's coming to our rescue. It don't happen like that. It's like there will be 21 questions. No, but what did you do?
Yep.
For that reaction? But why would you do that? But why? There's always like a rebuttal. But how can I can just be angry? Angry is an emotion. Yes, and someone put in the comments, oh, are there not like there's not angry black women? Yeah, of course, yes there are. But anger is a very fair emotion for me to have. I shouldn't be penalized because I have an emotion. Everybody has an emotion. So what? But it's now we get this stigma of the angry black woman, and now becomes a thing. No, but I can be angry in certain instances.
Christy, you know the angry black woman thing, right? They just now mentioning. Do you feel like black men are the ones who are contributing to that? Or do you feel like you mean the system is basically painting you guys as angry black women?
The system has painted, but also black men have also put equity into that statement.
Yeah, I think you feed into it.
They fed into that statement also. I'm not gonna how it was brought about. It was 100% brought by the system, but also we ourselves feed into the system. Hence why we have things like colorism. That system was brought about by them, but we also what do? We perpetuate it. So let's not act like that doesn't happen.
But okay, again, I wouldn't be me if I don't ask questions, innit? You know what I'm saying? But in a similar way, right? Hey, for real.
No. You know what kills me, yeah? If man says things like, there's a gun to his head. Like, if he doesn't say it, this is going to be what kills him. Said that. It wouldn't be me. No, because, I have to do this.
Because my thing is, if we're saying certain things, right, we have to be... again, I'm not saying you're not accurate, Christy. You know, I agree with most of the things you're saying.
But I just said we get rebuttals. You are coming with a rebuttal. You're saying you're asking a question, but you're coming with a rebuttal. That's
the thing. I'm the type of person who can't just accept what someone tells me. I need to know the truth. You know what I'm saying? And so,
but even
how do I know?
You just asked. No, but wait, hold on. The question was, how is it challenging for black women?
Yeah.
And we're coming to tell you, and you're coming to us and saying you just don't take what we're saying.
No, I'm not doubting the challenge. I want to know more about the challenge, and I can only know by asking questions. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
ask your question.
So my thing is this, right? When you said about how black men contribute to the narrative that black women are angry, this and the third. Again, I'm not trying to start any trouble here, but I'm asking, right? And I'm trying to make a point. Hopefully you get the point, right? I'm trying to make. But it's just like absentee black fathers. Do black women contribute to the narrative that there are absentee black fathers?
Yeah. Okay.
That's the reality. You see what I'm saying?
Of course they're going to contribute because it's their reality. So if there's no black father in their house and you ask them, they're going to say, yes, there's no black father in the house. That's no contribution. That's me letting you know what's going on in my roof.
I need you to land your plane.
Okay, land the plane for
thank you. The point I'm trying to make is you're always going to find people, even within your race, that contribute to a particular narrative because to them, they've experienced that particular thing. There's going to be black men who experience angry black women. You know what I'm saying? And just like there's going to be black women out there who experience the dad of their kid running away. Never seen that nigga again. You know what I'm saying? I understand. But the point I'm trying to make is, are we basically exacerbating a particular issue, right? And kind of blaming people within our own race for something that's really should be attributed to the system, to the others? That's the question I want to ask.
Yeah, but at what point do we take... we love this accountability. So at what point do we take accountability? Why don't we just stop that?
No, at every point we have to. You know what I'm saying?
But we're addressing this point.
Yeah, I understand.
The topic of the day is this point. So I'm addressing like what I'm saying. Why it's being fed that to us? All these labels that come with us, and we just can't be. That's the only point I'm trying to make. Like that's an actual challenge for us.
I hear you. The reason why I'm asking again these questions because I feel like there's a lot of black men out there who don't believe the whole angry women thing. You know what I'm saying? And when we kind of just say, oh yeah, black men add to the narrative, what about those who don't believe that nonsense? You know what I'm saying? Just like the women out there who don't believe black men just run away from their responsibilities of being fathers. You know what I'm saying? So why are we kind of focusing on the negative, few perhaps, right? Instead of the positive majority, and also not attributing the blame to where it should be. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, there was given a chance to accentuate our positive attributes, and it was crickets. So,
but that's not fair. It wasn't crickets though, Christie, man. Because again, I agreed, didn't it? But also Brent made a point that maybe the time of the day or whatever, I may have asked a question, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, I feel as though there were a lot of people out there who took the time to also give positive attributes. There was loads of positives that was said yesterday about black women.
But that's
you know
the thing.
Bury them, man.
There was.
I don't know, man. It's interesting how you guys see it, and do you know what energy you guys are giving me? Not necessarily you guys in the room, but if the shoe fits Cinderella's, you put them on too. It's giving me, you know, when Sideman during lockdown was out here fighting for the girls on Clubhouse, and the girls said, "Stop fighting for us," and he was like, "I'm still gonna fight for you because that's what I want to do." That's what it's giving, because you're telling the women that you complimented them. Yeah. They're saying, "Yeah, but your compliments about us centered around what we do for you."
Okay.
And from what I didn't listen to the Friday show, but they're saying that's not how it was. Like,
okay.
And do you know what I mean that on the Friday show, the compliments given to the men did not center around what it is that men did for women. I don't know if that's true. I don't know.
You're just, yeah.
Untense your face muscles, relax.
No,
okay.
I was just thinking.
Oh yeah, okay. Do you know what I mean? So, but then the girls are saying that this is what it was, and then you're insisting that you gave them compliments, but they don't feel complimented. So for me, I just feel like moving forward is to take that on board. When you can say someone's intelligent, you can say someone's caring, someone's nurturing, without you having to let it center around you.
It's not. We're just picking up the girls, isn't it? Like, all we got is us, innit? So if that's what we're attracted to women, and the things that we like about you are positive. We don't use to know you enrich our lives. I don't understand why it's a negative thing.
So it's interesting though, actually. You know the caller that called, that guy?
Pascal.
Pascal. Big up him, yeah. Because what he was saying was that all the compliments you guys, I know his line wasn't clear, but I got the gist of what he was saying, was that all the compliments you guys are coming up with for women is to do with how women enrich your lives. It just shows how down bad men are, because women can't say the same. Like, the women can't say that this is, like, the compliments women have for you isn't giving the same energy of, oh, this is how you enrich our lives. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think we need to fix this whole gender war in the black community. It's very, very sad. It's a sight for, it's poor, bad sight. I don't know what I'm trying to say, man. It's just sad. Sorry, Christy.
Man can't win, boy. That's all I know.
You can. You just have to do things right. You can't insist on doing things your way and say you can't win. You're not going to win. Because again, you're not giving to people what it is that they need.
They said cricket.
So of course you're not going to win.
Multiple men got involved. You
talked about how great the women are in their
that.
lives.
Huh?
That's not a compliment.
Sorry.
It wasn't all like that.
Go back in the deck and give me some examples. Let me just double check.
It wasn't all like that.
Is it gone? Is it gone? Is it there?
I was reading it on my phone, you know.
What normally happens as we have these discussions, right? There might be a whole set of conversation around one particular thing, right? And anything that is deemed as negative, that's the thing that is focused on. And it remains in one's mind. And that's the only thing that's prevalent. So it feels as though it's far weightier than it actually was. Because there were more men, in my estimation, that said things that weren't centered around men than there were. Do you understand? I know Pascal called up and said, this shit shows that men are trash. But there were other things that he went on to say. And then the girl said, get him off. Do you understand? She's saying she loved Pascal's message. There's conflicting messages here.
Or me?
I'm sorry, Esther was saying, I apologize.
I said I heard what he was saying. You need to calm down. I said I got what he was trying to say. But again, though, the thing is, I got what he was trying to say, but because the girls were already irritated at the fact that some of the compliments, I wouldn't say all, some of the compliments centered around men, them calling to say, this shows how men is still at the center. So I feel like that's why they didn't take what he was saying in. I was in my zen bed, so I understood what he was saying. I wasn't stressed.
It was hard to understand what he was saying.
Yeah, to be fair. It is what it is, isn't it? I told you guys what to do yesterday. I told the ladies what to do yesterday. Look at Catherine on Love Island. She's having a good time. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, that's right as well. It's not just Esther. I think all you ladies in the chat as well, please, because let's just take this time to educate. I feel like it's a teaching moment. You get me? Because obviously, if we don't know, when you know better, you're supposed to do better.
Why am I in it?
All of these Just give
What do you
us.
mean it's not just Esther?
No, because someone said something to Esther. Can you just tell us what's like some acceptable? Who was that? Is that Fred or something? Said to give us some acceptable compliments on that. But I'm saying it's not just on Esther. I want all of you to let us know how we're supposed to do this. Because there's no point in sitting in ignorance.
I think just whatever it is, you can say whatever compliment you say, yeah. Just don't let all of it relate back to how it is you benefit from that. So I can say, yeah, Mark is such a giving person without saying Mark's such a giving person because every time I come in here hungry, you give me food. Bro, you're giving, do you know what I mean? You're a giving person. So I think that's what it is. And again, when you link it, because you have to remember, yeah, these compliments are not sounding how it is in you guys' ears for the women. Okay. Because like Christy and I were saying, women are, our lives, the way we've been raised, not everybody, of course, but has been centered around what it is that we can do for other people. So I feel like when you're going to compliment me how you know me as an individual, or what it is that you know about black women in general. So stuff like, they're resilient, okay? Fair. Choose to strength.
Y'all wouldn't take that.
Fair.
You
see, I said it, and I problem with that. First of all, you see how I said fair?
You see, you paused.
Exactly, I clapped after I said it. But stuff like, they're beautiful. That's fine. But if you said, they're beautiful because I like to be up in them cheeks, that doesn't help. They're beautiful. And I think that's what it is. Just say the compliment and leave it there. Don't add how it is that you benefit from that trait that they have.
Can I say something here? But I think Christy wants to say something before she goes. Go on, Christy.
Sorry, Christy.
Yeah, I just want to say, even straight out the gate, the first thing that came up, Mark's response was, "This is giving slavery." And that's why I lost my point. So just straight off the gate, when the topic was introduced, Mark's response was, "This is really giving slavery."
That's because the first thing they said was women are so strong and protect their men and all that kind of stuff.
That's his point.
And this is
that was one thing.
This is the point. It kind of it went it went down that road. It went down that road.
Down slavery road.
Thank you very much for mentioning that, Christy. What do you got to say for yourself?
Nothing. What's wrong with that?
She's saying you're the cause. You're the problem.
I'm not the cause. I explained myself.
I
said, how come when we're giving...
Christy, can you call up, please? Because our king is talking right now.
I said, how come when we're giving... That's when I said it's giving slavery. And I said, how come when we're giving the compliments, it always talks back to the women having to be strong and resilient and protect their men and why is it always like that? That's what I said. That was when we opened the conversation. And then afterwards, we got different examples.
And it continued.
No, but we got different examples after I made that point, though.
Yeah, there were different examples. I'm not saying it wasn't, but for the majority of the tone of the conversation was very much centered around that kind of theme. I'm not saying there wasn't others. Of course, there was others that gave good attributes to us. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying the general tone. It was a contrast to Friday. I'm just saying that's all I'm saying.
I need to clip this up because when you say 70-30, that's very, 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 very top heavy. Very top heavy.
Would you agree, Chrissy, that it was top heavy? The compliment centered around men, or did I maybe not catch everything?
Christy, can't hear you now.
Oh, what? Sorry, I can't hear what you just said.
What percentage would you say were compliments that centered around men than just women by themselves?
It was like 60-40.
Yeah. Because the guys who responded in the community, they were very, very elaborate with their compliments. Mm-hmm. And I swear they didn't all read
Have you still got them?
Men. And he was reading them.
Have you got them? Any of them today?
Yeah.
It's so interesting though, because conversations like this made me just realize how differently men and women think. Because it's so funny because it's like, for you guys, it's clear as day these are compliments. Mm-hmm. And for us, it's clear as day is giving slavery. It's so funny.
Look, this...
It's just funny to me how there's a disagreement about how this went and how the men's one went. This is funny to me. This is it. That's all I'm saying.
So,
I'm just saying, but anyway, I gotta go. I gotta go.
Thank you, Christy.
I even called in. I called in.
You called in?
I gave them the props.
Okay, so what would you say
I did my work.
What would you say those compliments were?
I did my work. So
wait, before you go,
anyway,
Esther's asked you a question.
Before you go, Christy.
What would you say they were like?
What, sorry?
She's asking you what compliments did you give to men?
No, that's not what I said.
Oh.
What were the general compliments for men? What was the energy like? Did it center around what men do for women? What was the vibe?
No, actually, my one wasn't. It is.
But then in general, the other compliments that they got?
That they're funny?
No, in general, it was... Yeah, in general, it was just as them as men, like how black men show up. It wasn't even about black men showing up for women or anything like that. Literally, it was just about them, black men. How even different they got their props.
In the chat,
they got their props.
That is the funny thing, because someone said yesterday we're funny, yeah. Talking about, no, they're not. It's just funny to me. But thank you, Christy.
Women ain't funny like that. I'm so sorry. I don't know what you keep saying this stuff for.
Thank you, Christy.
Thank you,
Goodbye,
Christy, for
Christy.
calling.
Bye, guys.
See you later,
thank you.
Christy.
John, you need to keep my name out of your mouth. Okay, sir? Keep my name out of your mouth. Sorry. Talking too much.
Was there ever a time when it is that you could actually give a compliment where it is that you can center each person, each counterpart in the compliment without it being a thing where, why you keep doing this? Is it because of the strenuous nature of degradation that black men has exposed black women to over the decades and centuries that has you all moving as
edge.
though, yes.
No.
Because in a functional relationship
Yeah.
with a black woman, I would love for her to basically say, yeah, I love you because you do this for me. You turn up for me.
Yeah, but that's...
Do you know how pure for me that would be?
Yeah, it would
Because
be pure.
it's only me and her. And we're
Yeah, but-
building now a family together.
Yeah, but that's beautiful though. I want that too. But if my partner, his compliments for me was to do with how I am, like I'm just a great mother. You're just like if his focus again is that, that's I feel like someone can be like, oh, like I love how you show up for me. If I need this, you're right there. That speaks to your caring nature. That speaks to that. But I don't know, man. I think it's just an individual thing.
Maybe you want an like clarification as to give me more about how I'm a great mother. For example, when it is I wake up, I don't have to worry about this, that, and the next. My kids are already fed. That might come across as, oh my goodness, I am just a slave, right?
Exactly. I was just about to say that to you. They're not going to accept that.
But when it is you deep,
It's tricky. I don't have a husband and kids.
when it is that you deep, when it is that you deep, my family unit, I might be cooking because I cook, right?
Yeah.
I like to keep things clean, so I clean too.
Yeah.
But then on the off, I might wake up on a Saturday. Every weekend, I wake up and she's basically doing that. Without that particular context, it could come across as absolutely weird.
Do you know what I think the issue is? I don't think it's necessarily like what black men have put black women through. It might be that, might play part of that. But I know that for me personally, when someone compliments me and it's tied to what it is I do for them, I've always been someone something. And that's a very, very heavy thing that I wear on a daily that I want to take off, that I don't want to wear anymore. So if your compliments center around that for me, I just don't like it.
I hear what you're saying,
that's
but
me.
this is my love language, being there for people.
Yeah,
for example, if it is that you were to run through the qualities that you like about me,
Yeah.
the way you're able to articulate that is because you've experienced that. And
Yeah.
it's just between both of us.
Yeah.
So it would have to be centered around you anyway. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Or else you would know about it.
I hear you.
I get you. What you're saying definitely makes sense, but I think that's where you just need to know who it is that you're speaking to. 'Cause I feel like my partner, of course, can say, I like the fact that you shop for me and whatever. But again, as someone who involuntarily has had to be something to everybody and carry on responsibilities, if all you can say about me is that, nothing about how I am, just how I am, you can't speak to how I am disciplined, you can't speak to how the fact that like I'm a caring person, how I have a beautiful heart. And if you can't just speak to qualities that stand alone, that is just known for Esther, and it's something that can be applied to Gina, can be applied to this person, can apply to anybody, for me personally, is just not for me.
100%. But the caring aspect of it, 100%. When you you make sure our children are looked after, cared for, right? They want for nothing.
Yeah.
100%, that could sound as though I'm saying you're a great mother. And that
No, but
may,
it will,
may
but-
trigger you.
but you know it's-
the caring aspect shows you turning up for our children every single day.
But you know what it is? I feel like family setting is different to this kind of setting where we're trying to have a conversation about black women in general. If in family setting, I don't know, I can't speak for them, but I feel like the women who were in the chat or whatever, who were upset about yesterday's comments, if they were with their partner and even their kids, and the kids are like, you're such a good mummy because you do this for us, blah, 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 like, that will fill them with joy because that's a different intimate setting. This is how we get on day by day. This is the function of our home. But I think if in general you want compliments of why it is that you just love black women and it's still focused on what it is that they do, I don't know, man. It's tricky, but I get it. As a woman, I get it. So I think it's just something that you guys can't get.
No, I
Get the women in your life to
100%
explain to you.
I hear you. And in many circumstances,
Yeah.
I can actually see as to why it is that the woman would come to the end of a tether. Because what she would do, it wouldn't be appreciated, it would be overlooked, it will be pissed on.
Yeah.
He will do whatever he's doing and she continues just because she has to continue.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's no help there. She must. And I'm even deep in it. Even for as long as it is, I've known certain black couples, right? Elderly black couples.
Yeah.
You would see, even in gender roles being played out, you will still see the woman advising the man in certain financial this, that, and the next, but still not looking to step on his toes or say, I'm rocking the pants in this particular family. But she's always the backbone. But to suggest, you're my strength, you're my backbone. Again, that might trigger. Why must I be this? Why can't it be gentle?
Do you know I think what will help as well is if we actually complimented each other more? Because I feel like...
It's a lack of appreciation.
Yes.
Sorry,
Sorry, let me just finish the sentence, sorry. But I feel like it's a lack of appreciation. So you guys saying the things that you said, it's like, oh, so you do know black women hold you down. You do know this, but you don't treat them like that.
See me.
See, exactly. So I feel like if it was a thing where black women felt like black men do appreciate and vocalize their appreciation for the things that they do for them, rather than act like we're not doing anything special, we're not that special, then I think those compliments would be better received. But where it is that you're treating me A, but you're telling me I'm B all the way to Z, oh, really? You know that now? But yeah, sorry, caller.
Good morning, caller. Sorry about that.
Hi. Good morning, guys. No, that's fine. It's Tatenda. And I just wanted to quickly add to Esther's point. And I think one of the things that I found, and I feel like it's unfair to just like put it on black men in general, because I think it goes to just men and women as how men see women a lot of the times. But I think what Esther said about how if you're only seen for the role that you do, and then there comes a point where you can no longer do that role or things change and you can't do that role, does that then change the reason why you love that person? And I think that's why the foundation of why you love someone has to be more than what they're going to become. So I think when we start from that point, as was said like in the last few weeks, in terms of why we love black men, it's things that I love about you that don't just attribute you to being a father or attribute you to being a brother. And I think sometimes it gets blurred where we think, oh, well, that's a good thing. It is a good thing being a good parent. But at the end of the day, being a good parent should be the standard and it shouldn't be like an anomaly. And I think we're getting to a point whereby finding good people to be good parents is hard to come by. So it's easy to say being a good parent is an amazing attribute, which I agree with in today's like current climate. But I think seeing somebody for who they are outside of that role is important. It's like if all my friends said to me, oh, Teno, you're a great lawyer, you do great law work, you do great law things. It's like, but I'm more than just my job. I'm more than what I do at work. Tell me what you love about me that's outside of that. So I think that's where the issue comes from. And I think it's hard being a black woman again, whereby a lot of the times you do feel like people underappreciate you. And then the men that you love so much, you feel like they don't appreciate you. It's like, who does appreciate me? And then when black women come together, uplift each other, it's then, oh, women are so masculine, they don't care about men. And it's like, I understand the frustration from what's going on with black men, but I think sometimes it's so easy to shove it onto black women and make us feel like we have to lift up that burden. And like Esther said, I'm tired of being a strong black woman. Like I actually want to be weak because I've been strong all my life. When am I ever going to have somebody that's going to be strong for me? It's so tiresome, especially if you're the eldest girl on either side of your family and you're now having to deal with everyone's issues. And then you become a mom and now you're dealing with your family's issues and you're dealing with your husband's issues. And it's like, I'm actually never going to catch a break. So I think having that idea that you're loved for things beyond the role that you do will uplift someone to want to even do the roles they do even more. So I think that's just the point that's just trying to be like put across. If that makes sense.
Fantastic thoughts. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye. I was just about to say something to it as well. You know what? Yeah, if I start talking, it might go back round, innit? So I don't want.
But I think ultimately, though, when it is that, I don't know, man. I don't think it's even something to be going back and forth over. You complimented people. They said they didn't like the way you complimented them. They told you how it is. They want you to compliment them. Take it on board.
No, you're 100% correct. But do you know what it is? I think all I was gonna pretty much say is that it's pretty much what Tatenda said. I think it's just a man and woman thing, how we see compliments. Because, like, for example. If a woman, this may not be a good example, but if a woman compliments a man on his body, he can be like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I like that. If a man compliments her on her body, it's like, oh, you only see my body. You know what I'm saying? What about my mind? You know what I'm saying? So I'm making light of it, but So that you guys can understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but that's the thing though, because
it's how we kind of
why would
take
she take it like that
compliments.
though?
We're functional creatures as well.
No.
We don't like foolishness, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, so the fact that someone brings
a lot of men are
value,
foolish.
no, the fact that
Some of
someone
you are
brings
damn
value
fools.
is what man like. That's what's important.
You don't like foolishness. There's a lot of fools running around. But why would she take that as an issue though? Isn't that because of how it is that society dictates how women's bodies should be, how it should look, what it should be used for, more than they do for men? Would you agree with that?
Perhaps.
No, I need a yes or no. Do you agree or not?
I can't fully. The reason why I'll tell you why, because I feel like men's bodies is kind of tied to their strength, which is tied to how well they can be as protectors. And this is why I was saying to you before, men's identity is stripped away, not in exactly the same way as a woman, but if a man is not doesn't look a particular way, and he doesn't look strong, he can't protect his family, is he really a man? So yes, you may say, you was talking, you gave an example about, I think you mentioned about men, I can't remember what it is, but all of that is somewhat tied to the high suicide rates for men as well, because a lot of them are struggling with trying to be society's idea of being a man.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Saying? So the only point I'm trying to make is, it kind of is the same thing on both sides. It's different, but it's similar struggles on both sides.
Do you know what? I get what you're saying, and I do think men's mental health is one that really needs to be looked at, because suicide rates amongst black men is horrible. That's why I don't understand why a lot of these men sit on podcasts talking about what women are doing in their bodies when you don't really have danger at your door. But that's a conversation for another day. But the point I'm trying to make is that you can see why it is. Why are you laughing?
That's what you just said.
Oh, well, you can see why it is where if a woman compliments your body, or your body's complimented, a woman will take it differently. Again, these things, you might think they're just compliments, their words or whatever, but different experiences is why it will mean something else. If you compliment a woman's strength and you compliment a man's strength, there's a way that he might take it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
I fully agree with you.
I don't believe that because it's just a compliment, it should be like, okay, well, you have to accept it. No, because our different experiences changes what this compliment means then. And it's just understanding that. It's just understanding that.
No. I'm fully agreeing with you. I'm just kind of maybe giving a reason as to why it is that we kind of perceive stuff. You know what I'm saying? And not necessarily a thing where it's a black man thing. I think it's more so a man thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of just taking away from the whole race thing. We're failing. No, I think it's just how men perceive the world. You know what I'm saying? And also the other thing is, it's just about how, compliments, how people benefit from each other, right? I think the reality is when you're looking at a particular mate, right, all these compliments that you're giving, it's not because you just want him to be all of these great things for the world. You want it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's resilient, she's strong, she's intelligent. Not just so you can use it at work. I want you to use it in my house. Let's build together. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard. I feel like it's a bit harsh to then say, again, I'm not trying to put this on you, right? But I feel like it's a bit harsh to kind of require people to necessarily give compliments that doesn't benefit them in any way, because you kind of want the great things about the person that you're with to benefit you. Otherwise, what's the point? Do you get where I'm coming from?
That's great.
Emmanuel, Tatenda mentioned that women sometimes want to be weak. Do you understood context in which it is?
100%, I did, 100%.
What do you think she meant by that?
Just not having to necessarily always be the strong person, like she was saying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I had to worry about being the oldest sister at home. I had to cook, I had to look after my parents. Now I've gone into my husband's home and I'm doing the same damn thing. You know, and again, I don't want to make it about, what men have to do, but it's like I'm just trying to bring a bit of colour to the conversation so you understand that it's a similar thing that I feel like across the board everyone faces. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? A man, don't cry, be a man, be strong when you're like 9 years old, so that when you go into your house with your wife, you can make sure you can protect them. Yeah. If you can't, you're a crappy man.
Yeah. So the weak comment wasn't that absent respect, right? It was including respect.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, cool. Because sometimes when it is that you hear somebody say, I don't want to be strong all the time, I would like to be weak. Yeah. Sometimes that might be like men might jump in and say, all right, cool, gender roles. We've been pushing gender roles, but you guys don't want gender roles. Yeah. That's not what it is that she meant, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Glad that was understood.
Well,
all right,
fantastic guys video and did what you did yesterday. Let's get into our next headline.
Don't do that.
I said you did.
You said you undid it.
Yeah, because you guys
you
said
mean
you
in
did
a
a
good
poor
way.
job yesterday,
Okay,
didn't you?
okay,
So
okay.
today you believe you've done good jobs, then
Oh, we believe.
well done.
We
Yeah,
identify
if you take a vote, the results might say otherwise, but as long as you guys can sleep well at night, we're all good. Let's get to our next headlines.
All right, so our next headline. Donald Trump, man, is back in the news. An audio recording in which Donald Trump appears to acknowledge keeping a classified document after leaving the White House has been obtained by US media. In the recording, the former president is heard rifling through papers and saying, "This is highly confidential." It's not been independently verified by the BBC, but apparently this was out there. Mr. Trump has obviously pleaded not guilty to federal charges of mishandling sensitive files, but CNN was the first to publish the roughly 2-minute clip and said it comes from a July 2021 interview that Mr. Trump gave with people working on the memoir of his former chief of staff, Mark Meadows. Mr. Trump is heard saying, "These are the papers," and referring to a document he calls highly confidential. It appears to be an audio recording referenced by federal prosecutors in their indictment of the former president. Next headline is about Rwanda. You know, we haven't heard the whole thing about Rwanda, sending people to Rwanda for a while. So basically, the SNP say that the newly revealed figures mean the government would need to spend £1.8 billion to send all 11,000 people who have arrived in the UK across the channel this year. So it's going to cost $169,000 per person to send illegal migrants to Rwanda. This is according to a new analysis published by the government. An economic assessment of the illegal migration bill also estimated that each person sent abroad to the East African nation or a similar country will save the taxpayer between $106,000 and $165,000 per person. So if the government wants to break even on the project, it will need to deter about 37% of people from crossing the channel. This is according to these estimations made by this analysis, right? But things could get more expensive if the UK were to agree deportation deals with nations besides Rwanda, as the government has indicated that it wants to. Setting up fees were not included in the calculation, and it was noted that the UK has paid Rwanda already, and we spoke about this before, £140 million so far, and no one has made the journey there, right? And as unaccompanied children are excluded from being deported, the analysis warns that more young people, or those claiming to be so, could arrive under the scheme. And the last headline here, and this is trigger warning here, and this is basically about revenge porn. So apparently, it's going to be easier to convict people who share revenge porn following calls for a crackdown by campaigners, including the reality TV star Georgia Harrison. So the amendments to the online safety bill will also deliver on the government's pledge to ban the sharing of deepfake pornography, which is explicit images or videos that have been digitally manipulated to look like someone else without the consent of those being depicted. So revenge porn was criminalized in 2015, but Tuesday's amendments will remove the requirement for prosecutors to prove perpetrators intended to cause distress in order to secure a conviction. That's basically the main change in this, right? So the changes will make the sharing of intimate images without consent a base offence with a maximum penalty of 6 months imprisonment. The only way is Essex star Harrison, who's 28, was amongst those who calls for this change to legislation after her ex-partner Stephen Bear, who's 33, was sentenced to 21 months in prison earlier this year. The 2016 Celebrity Big Brother winner was found guilty of voyeurism and 2 counts of disclosing private sexual photographs and films after sharing a video of them having sex on his OnlyFans account. And that's it for the headlines.
Right, let's get into some messy word on road. The BET happened over the weekend. It was a damn mess. Obviously, okay, so there was news circulating, I think 2 weeks ago, that Tyler Perry now owns BET as well, but it hasn't been confirmed by him or anything, so that's why I didn't report on it, because it's not confirmed. I don't know if it's a rumour. People make rumours all the time, so I don't know in it. But basically, people said the BET this year was just giving family cookout, and this is why Beyonce will never come. So, firstly, a good thing though, Quavo and Offset performed Migos songs in honour of Takeoff, which is obviously really cool because we've had the whole, they're not talking, and yeah, they weren't talking actually, for real. So it looks as though they've rekindled and they're reunited, and that's lovely. JT and Lil Uzi had a fight.
I still can't take them serious.
Do you know what? Yeah, like honestly. So JT and Lil Uzi had a fight that was recorded on video. So she allegedly was cussing him and saying, "Don't play with me with your bitch ass," or whatever. And then people basically saying, "Sorry."
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right. People are basically saying that it was over Ice Spice and he was talking to Ice Spice. And so she got angry at that, blah, blah. And obviously people calling her insecure, whatnot. But her team have come out to say that it's got nothing to do with Ice Spice. And essentially during a break or something, the audience moved around and she lost her seat. But why is Lil Uzi in it? Because she threw her phone at him. And then she said, pick my phone up. That's the whole thing. So that happened.
Did he pick up?
Well, yeah.
She threw her phone at him.
Yeah,
To
he
hurt
picked
him.
up. That's her partner. He's supportive. He's lovingly picked up the phone. I thought you didn't want. I thought you said
This is why
men need to be strong all the
This is why
time.
it continues. But
I thought you
I
said
don't know the
men should be
situation.
strong all the time. So what's your tea? Just less than 5 minutes ago.
Strong
You're
is
talking about
different
the
to being
narrative
abused.
to being what?
It's different to being abused.
Oh, is
Just throwing the phone at him.
That's great. Anyways, Patti Labelle had to give a tribute for Tina Turner. Auntie did not know one of the words.
You're lying.
You're lying.
You're not coming to battle.
She didn't know the words. She didn't know the words. And do you know what she said? People were cooking her. She said, I did my best, she would have been proud.
You know what? At least she owned it.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's my kind of girl. She said,
You
I
know
did my
the
best.
words.
She was mumbling through some of them. She's like, oh, sorry, but
Do you know how funny
you should have got one of the young girls to do it. Get somebody else to do it. Why is
literally, that's so
Auntie
funny.
Patty doing a tribute for her age mate? First, I think that's rude anyway. I think one of the young girls, Coyle Ray and them, should have done it. Anyway.
You said Coyle Ray.
Listen.
Really?
But yeah, Auntie said, listen, I had a good time and she would have loved it. So that
I
was
said quite a race should have done it, you know.
I'm done.
that happened. And then Offset, because I really fancy Offset. I really do.
Dude.
But I don't crush but I don't crush married men. But I really fancy the guy. But anyways, he basically did the post and delete where he claimed that Cardi cheated on him. I don't mind you guys. So he's had a few scandals now, to be fair.
Oh, but post and delete.
Yeah, the post and delete. So the post said, my wife effed a nigger on me. Gang, yo niggas know how I come. First of all, none of the niggas know how you come. All girls, allegedly. A lot of girls in Atlanta know how you come though. But he did that. And basically he did that. So Cardi then went on, what's that thing? Not Twitter Live. Spaces.
Spaces, yeah.
And she was singing Keisha Cole, I should have cheated. It was so funny. And she basically was like, don't play with me. Don't try to act stupid. She's like, if he was right next to me, I would have slapped his head because what is that? She's like, don't try and tarnish my image, blah, blah, blah. So basically what it was is that she had a space, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever, where I don't know what the first conversations were. And she basically said something like, I think they're talking about like speculating about her marriage or whatever, because she's taking this American blogger, Tasha K, to court. Well, she's already won. The woman owes her like $4 million because she kept making up lies about Cardi and very wild things as well. Even said one of her kids had STD and stuff. It's mad. Like she went to court, she won the case, whatever. So I feel like it was kind of that conversation, I believe. And and Cardi was like, if I was gonna get divorced, what I would do is I would release an album that's got 10 songs like Be Careful, her Be Careful song, which was addressed to Offset after he cheated. Well, one of the times he cheated. So she was like, I will release an album like that. She said, furthermore, she's like, I'm Cardi B. I'm only gonna level up. So she said, I'm gonna be with a man who's got more money, who can take care of me better, blah, blah. She essentially just said, I'm gonna level up or whatever. So I feel like that's what Offset heard. And he just assumed that she's cheating on him or whatever because she was doing a hypothetical. But that's what happens. I feel like with cheaters anyway, that's what happens. They cheat, and then they start to have sleepless nights because they feel like they're being cheated back on. Most times they're not. But I like that disruption of peace of mind. That's my favorite genre in life. So anyway, so she basically addressed all of that and sang Keisha Cole's song and said, really and truly. She was like, furthermore anyway, she's like, I am Cardi B. If I was going to cheat, I would never cheat anybody that you're going to find out. And this is why women hide, men underestimate women's cheating. Because
Are you saying
you never
she's
know.
innocent because she's denying it?
I'm not giving any of my opinions.
Okay.
Anything I do when I sit on here
Is there a compliment
is
we can throw in
reporting
there?
news. Am I throwing compliment?
Is there a possible compliment we can throw in there
For who? Cardi
for
cheating?
women?
You guys are going to throw it.
Never mind.
No. You guys are the ones who have stuff to make up for. I ain't got nothing. I'm a woman. I'm on this side.
No, you're saying that they cheat better than men, you're saying.
Yeah.
Is there a compliment we can throw in there?
No.
Okay, you don't want that compliment.
That's not my brand. You know how they eat me up. I'm not for cheating or anything of that sort.
Me neither,
From
I'm
either
over cheating.
genders. Excuse me?
For me neither, I'm over-cheating.
That's good. I'd love to see it. When the show started, you told me and Koi was a social construct, so I'm glad to see.
No, he knows what he's
At least I'm consistent.
So it's still a social construct. It's a social construct you're just sick of now.
I'm going to send you the clip later.
All right. Thank you. So anyways, yeah, she said if she was going to cheat, she's going to cheat with a guy that you're not going to find out. She's like, I'm going to cheat with a little boy. He's going to talk. I'm not going to cheat with a rapper. He's going to put in his music. I'm not going to cheat with anybody that you're going to be able to find out from. And this is not my advice, but when it comes to cheating, my research has showed it's best to cheat people who also have things to lose. Then everyone stays quiet.
No, them famous guys always go with a low-key man.
No, because low-key guy will be excited to tell his little friends, and that's how
When they're so
gets around.
Yeah, but when they're so small, it's not like I don't like they ain't got enough weight. If it's someone
Look what August Alsina did. You think he wasn't low-key? We didn't even know he was around. And then look at that, he was now on Heather podcast talking about he slept with Will Smith's wife.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They're too bait. I mean, like, don't you remember? Oh, you don't even remember when Beyonce came over here years ago, and there was the strong rumor going around about the light skinned the security guard that chopped her. You get what I'm trying to say?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, like, and it was supposed to be certified, didn't it? But I'm saying someone like that. Even and then social media was probably totally different them days as well, innit? But I'm saying someone like that, you can't drum up the kind of hysteria and media thing to even make it. That's nothing. That's just nonsense. You can bust that case in it. So for Cardi, it's easier for the nobodies. If you go someone that's got a little bit, even like August, even though you're not like top tier, you're somebody. Yeah. That's way harder to.
No, but
do.
You see how you know about that light skin you
from
Beyonce? That's the thing. No one should know about that light skin you.
Yeah, but it's not enough though. Like it didn't make it back. Jay-Z might not know about him. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, it's not enough. It's in the small circles. It's not enough to do anything. Like, a couple people are always gonna know, but it's not enough to galvanize it. Whereas August got his big platform, go there and tell the world his business.
See, but he kept it low key for a time. I wonder what it was that made him snap, because he kept it hidden for a long time. I mean, that situation is
He's gone quiet though. Don't you remember the last thing?
because he's ill. Tory Lanez. Remember Tory Lanez? He had a fight with Tory Lanez as part of Tory Lanez's convictions.
Could they caught Fade, didn't it?
Yeah.
Caught a fade.
But I do wonder what it was, because he had kept it in for a while. But even that situation, it's not grooming because they're older, but it's giving some form of manipulation.
As in, he was manipulated.
Yes, because he was a broken bird. Like, he was so basically, his brother died. He had custody of his 2 kids or whatever, of niece and nephew or whatever. He was dealing with. I feel like she was in a power position. And it's like when you sleep, you can't sleep with your therapist. And that was what it was like. Because he was Jaden Smith's friend, and then she was just there as someone he could speak to. Next thing, clapping cheeks. It's just weird. Stuff like that is weird. Whether it's man, woman, whatever the dynamic is, I just think if this started from a vulnerable place, it's just weird. Especially for someone who was dealing with so much. Because literally he's got really bad health and he was down bad. And she supposedly wasn't. And then, anyway, the best two parties.
Care package, don't know. Advice, counsel, and stuff for works.
Oh, I cannot. But anyway, yeah. So Offset did that. And obviously, remember when Offset cheated, and he posted on Instagram a picture of him sitting on the wall and he's looking into the sunset, talking about, I miss my granny.
That didn't give you the girl.
Man, it's so annoying. I didn't see that post.
All right.
I only caught me the other day. I said, that's disgusting. That's so disgusting. So people have photoshopped one of Cardi doing the same thing, and her caption is always, I miss my granny. But it's not real though. But yeah, it was interesting. Anyway, trigger warning on this one. Michael Jackson is going to. Sorry. I'm laughing for other reasons. Excuse me?
We believe you.
Michael Jackson is going to be going back to court, going back to trial for alleged molestation case against Wade Robson. He was one of his childhood dancers.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he's alleging that he was molested at the Neverland Ranch between the ages of 7 and 14. And is that little cute kid, you've seen the pictures around? That little boy.
This guy.
Yeah. So he's going to trial with Michael Jackson's estate. It is a shame that the ghost can't come back, you know.
Exactly, to prove his innocence.
No, I just meant to slap you in the head.
The fiddle small.
I just meant to disappear to you in the middle of the night. Sorry, what's going on here?
It's funny, yeah. Just a couple of days ago, I was listening. I think it's an old No Behavior episode, yeah. And you and Louise were going back and forth about Michael Jackson thing, innit? And then this has now come out. And I think one of the things you lot were saying is since he's dead, nothing's come up.
Episodes?
Nothing proper in it.
Nothing's come up.
Yeah, because that was the point I was making.
Was it old or was it?
That's kind of would have been a couple of weeks.
Yeah, okay, it was a recent one. Yeah,
because I was saying all them guys that do them fuckeries. See, when they die, the barrier's gone in it. The protection's gone. So the second they die, everything floods in, and all the truth just comes out. You know what I'm trying to say? And that's in every case. Michael's hasn't been like that.
Been that way, yeah.
And I'm not saying no one hasn't forwarded since, but it's not like oh, the bubble's broken now. He's gone now. There's no protection. Let's just tell the truth and all pour out all the information, all the receipts and all that. It's not. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's still all nonsense. Even like this little kid, like, come on, man. If Macaulay Culkin didn't get touched, he didn't want you. Like, allow it, man. You get what I'm trying to say?
Right.
You think he left Macaulay on the table and bothered you? Come on, man.
I don't believe
Man's got standards out here, man.
All right, so
entertainment purposes, guys. Entertainment, all that stuff.
You're defending the
found it
dead.
entertaining.
Oh, this guy. He made it worse.
You agree with him?
No, I believe Michael's innocent though. He's not lost no cases, right? Apparently, you said before, Brent, FBI got all of this stuff. FBI ain't got nothing, man.
100%.
You ain't seen
And
it.
they interviewed the gardener and they interviewed the maid.
People getting paid. Go on.
Paid by who?
By the enemy.
The enemy.
Who's the enemy? So who do you...
The people who want Michael Jackson finished.
You do realize that this same evidence that the maid and the gardener basically contributed to the FBI or the sheriffs. I don't think it was the FBI then, it was the locals, like police, whatever. They went to the house and they found a room, right? This secret room where you had all this paraphernalia. You had S&M books, you had nude pictures of little kids and stuff. And you had shackles and all sorts.
This is not true, Brent.
Wait, will you talk? I will share.
Please do.
I will share the article.
But he had shackles and thing, yeah.
I'll share the article in the community.
This is bad, man. You know what it is, yeah?
It's not true, man.
Did I send it to
This
you?
man didn't
Esther?
do nothing but bring joy to millions of people through music for his whole life.
You know how much joy that Rolf Harris brought?
No. The
just
joy's not
dumb.
comparable. No.
I didn't say
Didgeridoo.
I didn't.
Allow it.
I didn't say it was comparable.
Nah, man.
He brought so much joy to everybody.
Nah, man. Nah, man. Don't do that.
Gary Glitter.
Fuck off.
I could continue.
Nah,
I
man.
can continue.
Them man are horrible. That's horrible people you're talking about. That's
Insane.
evil people.
Yes,
to be
100%.
honest, Philip Schofield brought joy to the British nation. So
You know
It's
these
not
English people are.
there is that.
That's
You know these British people are unscrupulous already.
You know, y'all could never convince me that he didn't fiddle with them children, you know?
Yeah,
Never
but-
convince me.
Yeah, I'm letting you know he's innocent.
Do you believe that he was lying in the same bed with them?
I don't know.
So during the sleepovers.
No, he
because
does.
that's what-
He's answered this question before. And then I went on to say, would you leave? So no, he's no. He's like, no.
I believe, Michael's strange, from his life, from his upbringing, mentally, I believe he's strange. I believe he's done some things that if people saw whatever could be whatever, questionable, that normal people like us probably wouldn't do, whatever, I do not believe, he is out here fondling and sleeping with any childs. I don't believe he's done that.
Is that because you don't want to boycott the music?
Because he really likes Michael Jackson.
No, it's just because I just don't believe he's done that, innit? Like, I just don't believe he's out here like touching up kids, trying to sleep with kids and doing these things. I just don't believe that.
They were in the same bed.
Say again?
Technically, he was sleeping with them. They were in
Of course
the
he
same
was.
bed.
No, but he wasn't like
Who did what?
pedo in there.
What?
Because
You know what I mean?
you know what it is? Do you know what it is there? Do you know what? You know, like a lot of people,
Imagine.
a lot of like normal people, like they wouldn't say that like their niece or nephew was staying around at their house. They wouldn't even stay in the same bed as them, not for any weird reasons, but just you just take care of the kids.
Yeah, I
How
fully
much
get
more
you.
this stranger is laying next to the bed in bed with strange kids that are not related to him anyway, and you don't think? And it's a stranger. What was Neverland? Is that his amusement park?
It
Like
was
a Disneyland.
It was at the Candy.
Learn
It's
more
like the
candy.
Winky Wonka.
Oh
Yeah, well, that's
gosh.
Bring them all in.
You
and
remember?
then fiddle with them.
Okay, enough
We'll
fiddling.
cherry pick.
All right.
The thing is,
What?
I don't think anyone is saying that Michael didn't do some crazy things in terms of like what's like not the norm. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you not think this is not something that's inappropriate or whatever? But doing something inappropriate is different to what they're saying he did. Like all the stuff they say, like these two grown men now who were talking about it before. If this is the stuff they're saying Michael did to them, that's crazy. So I don't believe it. And like I said, no court case. He's not lost no court cases. Nothing. You're innocent until proven guilty. You know what I'm saying? And Michael's innocent, man.
All right.
I don't know how much it is you guys. He had a whole shrine of Macaulay Culkin. A whole shrine. I'm gonna put the link up in the.
That's even a good thing, right? Because he had all this crazy shrine stuff about Macaulay Culkin. Yet the same guy, right? Macaulay Culkin saying he's never touched me.
But what does that mean? That mean nothing. That don't mean nothing.
It does.
That don't mean nothing.
It does.
He could have been like, if I touch him, everyone's gonna know.
No.
He can't keep a secret.
No.
A whole shrine.
Man. No.
I want to send you the link because you need some convincing. Oh, you really on my side?
I wish Yusuf was here because Yusuf goes hard for MJ.
Yeah, but you ain't seen the evidence.
Oh, Yusuf supports that as well.
What?
Oh, fantastic.
Yusuf rides hard for
Oh,
MJ.
Yusuf knows he's innocent as well.
Yeah, Yusuf.
In fact, do you know what? It's wild
Big up
to me
Big Man
that
Yusuf
Yus.
will never tolerate MJ slander.
Oh, brilliant.
But you know what's wild to me? It's the fact that like you guys are speaking as like absolutes for someone you do not know. Do you know? You guys are crazy. That's wild. Anyways, I'll keep you guys updated anyway. We'll let you know.
There's a video footage of all of the stuff they collected from his little secret.
Where's the video, bro?
It's there in the
Where?
thing. I've just linked it. I've just
Is it
put
like
it in
sweets
the-
and
So
like
what,
kids'
we can see
toys?
the video
Yes, I've put it in there.
of the shackles in the secret room and nude kids. Is that what you're saying?
How'd they get this footage?
You didn't?
Because they raided his house.
Oh my god! And he was handcuffing the kids too.
And there's a mechanism, right?
Here we go.
Where when you're walking down the hall, there's a bell that goes ding 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 ding.
Oh, so he knows that someone's coming.
Yes, and then he fixes himself up. He takes his
This is so
out of
disgusting.
the guy's mouth, and then
I'm
Oh
so sorry.
my
This is
goodness.
triggering. This is
it's
nasty.
100%. But
Okay.
all of this stuff is on the internet. You just don't want to find it. You don't want to go looking.
I
Bruh.
asked for it. It's not
To be honest,
there.
I didn't really care too tough about Michael Jackson, but I was so intrigued with the information when somebody told me. I was like, impossible. How come he's still running around? Obviously, somebody's
Well-
giving people money, innit? And then I've gone looking. I'm thinking, how could all this stuff be out for people to see and hear? And you're seeing the pictures of the mad S&Ms, this, that, next to the children's pictures, and you're thinking, what? How come nobody's talking about this?
Do you know what it
The
is?
most
money.
successful man, the most popular man, the most successful, most popular human being, in our history, was a black man, most talented, most everything is Michael Jackson. This is who he is, and these are the attempts, of the white man to bring him down and tarnish his legacy. Look what they're doing, and you're buying into it. This is crazy.
When did the first allegation come out?
Time ago.
Yeah, like early 90s, I think.
Was he already
95%.
the top guy then?
He was the top guy from the
he was the
70s.
toppest,
He
toppest.
was the top guy from he was
He was the
6.
toppest.
From, yeah.
I love.
that's
Do you know what I
it.
love?
That's
Do you know
why
what I
they
love?
covered
No,
everything
wait.
up.
I love
He was
how
earning
loud
money.
you two are being, because my point is that he was already up. So wouldn't they have prevented him going up rather than him already being up and the impact's already
He
been
didn't know
made
the
on his-
stratosphere he was going to go to.
Yeah,
he didn't
he
know
would've
that.
been even-
Look at when he's buying people's catalogs and all that, and like you get what I'm trying to say, that the way he's positioned
Yeah.
himself is going to be one of the most powerful men in the world.
100%.
What's that?
I need a reminder. We're meant to leave at 10:30 today.
Oh, what you too?
Well, I was more than 10:15 upside. Well, I think we can finish the rest of the show in 15 minutes. All right. Well,
We're going to try.
we will. We shall. Well, Grassfields is back in the news again. I've told you guys about them. They were the sisters who owned the clothing company, and basically the company. It was a whole thing. Basically, one of the sisters spoken up again. I'll be honest with you. I think you guys are gonna have to research this one, innit? It's a lot. So the story I told you guys last time was about her coming out to say that the company is no longer black owned and the company has been taken from them. I guess she said kind of like stolen from her, allegedly, and all that kind of stuff. But then it turned out anyway that she kind of gave the rights to it. So she went on TikTok, did a detailed 3-part video about all of that stuff and giving message receipts and whatever, and essentially saying that she was kind of tricked and bamboozled, and the people that took over the business were not honest with her, and this and other. And the caption of the video is like how I lost my £20 million business, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. The company also then put out a statement, very detailed statement. I read like every word of it. I don't have time to give you all the summaries. But essentially, they said that the girls were in debt. They owed HMRC like 800,000 Great British pounds for unpaid taxes, all that kind of stuff. And they basically said as well that they said that business was in a lot. Sorry, go on.
I was just gonna ask, the new owners, are they black as well?
No.
Okay.
So they are African, but they're not black. They said they're Indian African, something like that.
Oh, they're not African. Those.
They're what, sorry? They're Trini.
No.
No.
They're for like Indian
like
descent.
like Priti Patel and them.
It's just, sorry, Brent.
Like
you
East
get what I'm saying,
African,
right?
Indian,
No, I don't
something like that.
get what you're saying. Can you?
It's called right?
Indian African.
No.
Trinidadian.
It means like you know the mixed ones, the mixed people.
Just that's the same. That's
I mean, Douglas.
Yeah, them.
No, I thought she just meant that they were Indian. They were born in Africa or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know what they mean. I'll be honest with you, I don't know what they mean.
No,
But they just threw it in there.
Yeah. Sorry.
They said something about like they've also got roots in Africa. She's claiming they're Indian, but
I can't control.
we need to get some media training, honestly, because you are just. But yeah, so that. But they basically said that the business was in like 2.3 million debt, something like that. When they got the debt, they said the suppliers in Africa, they hadn't paid them. They said the people, the makeup artists, the models, all the people here that was helping them in the business as well, they hadn't paid them. Employees hadn't been paid for like months or whatever. I remember I told you guys that basically one of the twin sisters was going to die. And essentially the girl took money from the business to help with her sister's treatment. Otherwise she was going to die. So essentially they've used like business funds for personal life. Yeah. And I get where she's saying that, obviously she didn't want to watch her sister die. They lost their dad when they were younger, lost their older brother as well. She didn't want to lose her sister. I get that, but at the end of the day, business is business, and you stole money from the business, really and truly.
Essentially,
You're saying, business was stolen from you, but you stole from business first, kind of thing.
So I was just going to ask you, so how was it stolen? Was it stolen because maybe there were certain things in the contract she didn't fully understand and she signed? Or was it stolen as like, look, this is going to fail, man. So look, let me just take this for you for cheap.
As in her perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing. I'll be honest, I don't understand how the business was stolen from her because but he's saying, what the new owners are saying is that the business was put up for auction by HMRC anyway.
Okay.
That's how they found out about the business.
Okay.
And said when they found out about the business, they found out about the business because they wanted to buy the tables and desks and stuff like that. Okay. And then for some way, one how they ended up like just meeting the owner, whatever. She's then telling them, oh, this is the situation, blah, blah. They were like, oh, they loved the idea. They loved the fact that the business makes money. They were like, they made like over £200,000 in one weekend. So they were like, and obviously because they said because of their African roots, they thought, okay, this is something that is good. So when they then said, okay, they'll take over the business or whatever, they kept her on as a consultant.
Oh, wow.
They even said that she's got a mansion that they were paying £5,000 for monthly to help her upkeep the So they were like, for them, they were as generous as they could be until it became a thing where they started to see why the business was in the position it was in because they could see that they were mishandling the money. They were buying designer stuff. They were doing all these things. And it's like, this is why you guys were in the predicament that you were in where your business was being auctioned by HMRC in the first place. And so they said how, and then the new people said how the girl threatened that she was going to tell people that it's no longer black owned and that would obviously affect the business and blah, 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 blah. And then they were like, we're going to cut ties because we don't trust you because the way you're moving, blah, blah, blah. And that's where all that drama started from the last time. It is a very, very interesting report. You can check out her TikTok. Her name's Christelle, Nganhu. And you can also check out their statement as well. It's on the Grassfields website. It was a lot, man. It's tricky. But from the way things are, they were like how they've been paying all the suppliers, all the debts that they've accumulated, they've been sorting it out. They've kept the relationship going with the African suppliers and whatever, and people that make what they do, the models and stuff like that. I think it's even to the point now where people are attacking the models who are still working in the company, and they're doing the whole thing about it's not black owned anymore. Why are you supporting this Indian company? Blah blah. And it's like you're now attacking people personally when they're just doing a job. Yeah. It's all a mess, if I'm being honest. It's the biggest mess there is at the moment. But I would say it's an interesting listen, it's an interesting watch, it's an interesting read. But let's get into People's Journal.
telling you I'm gonna convert you guys. Gonna convert you guys.
No, you can't convert
I
me.
will.
I said I will.
All right, welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view. I'm going to be super quick today. To be fair, there isn't much. First thing is, supermarket executives are going to be questioned, man, by the MPs today over why food prices are still rising as some of the wholesale costs are even falling. So remember before, I think maybe a couple months back, we were talking about how MPs were looking into why is it that there's a huge gap between obviously what you're getting your goods at and how much you're selling to the people, even during this whole cost of living crisis. In some instances, obviously, pardon me, in every instance almost, right, the costs of all these food products are all going up. Why is this the case, right? So obviously, it's escalated now, and basically executives of Tesco, Sainsbury's, Asda, Morrison's, they're all going to be facing a parliamentary committee and basically examining the cost of a weekly shop and going into details as to why it is this disparity exists, pretty much. Next thing I was going to mention is, you know, St. Mungo's, the homeless charity, right? Basically, all the staff are going to be beginning a strike today, an indefinite strike though. So, you know, normally sometimes they're like, oh, you know what, after 2 days, I'm going to strike for 2 days this week and 2 days next week, whatever. Yo, the staff at St. Mungo's are saying, look, we're going to be beginning an indefinite strike. So they had a month-long strike before, but that ended on Monday. But some of the 500 staff voted to extend it earlier, right, this month. So basically the trade union, Unite, they said, obviously, this is a momentous decision. They're happy that everyone's basically taking a stand. Let's go and do what we need to do, because the charity pretty much refused the offer to increase their wage by 2.25%. They thought, this is ridiculous. Like, why are you giving us, like, you know, chicken change, innit? We deserve a lot more than this. So yeah, long story short, the staff has voted, and today they're starting their indefinite strike.
Indefinite?
Yeah, indefinite.
When you strike, do you have to be out in the streets, like with a sign and stuff, or can you just be at home chilling, watching Netflix?
You can be at home.
lovely.
Yeah, some people, like the dedicated ones.
Yeah, I
you
ain't
know
gonna have that. Let me know when we
they'll
get the
be
raise.
Because the thing is, a lot of them want to go out there so that they can talk to the cameras and get the public on their side as well, innit? So the more the people that's there, then the stronger it looks for you.
I'm the type to say I'm camera shy.
Next thing is local authorities.
Cut that, please.
Local authorities have basically said that councils will need more staff and funding, right, to enforce this ban of this no-fault evictions in England effectively. Remember before we spoke about this, where they've changed the legislation about how landlords can get people out of their properties. Basically, right now, the government is basically saying landlords will only be able to evict tenants in England under certain circumstances, including when they wish to sell the property or when they or a close family member wants to move in, stuff like this. But just random, I just don't want you here anymore, all the type of things there, you can't do that anymore. You need to give valid reasons, basically, and all that type of stuff. So all this whole no-fault evictions, that's a thing of the past now. But in addition to this, and people obviously champion it, councils are basically saying, look, if you want us to actually like make this thing work and actually follow up on in these situations where landlords are unlawfully getting people out of their properties, we need more staff and we also need more funding. Last thing is, what do you call it? Someone who represents a major oil and gas producer, Ithaca Energy, pretty much was speaking to the BBC, and they basically said that the UK is at risk of being starved of North Sea energy, right? Meaning that obviously England will just be relying on imports, you know what I'm saying? And they were talking about Labour's pledge to ban the new oil and gas exploration in the North Sea and all that type of stuff. And then they're basically saying, look, basically it's not going to work, innit? Like, we need to obviously be mindful of these new things that you want to implement into the policies and stuff. And if you're not mindful of this, obviously it's going to have a detrimental effect on the UK. Obviously, it won't be like, I guess, the whole situation when the Ukraine war started. In fact, it could be. You know what I mean? The situation could be exacerbated to that degree. But basically, they're saying, look, we can't rely on just imports right now. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think it's something more effective. And the last thing is Black in Business, the scheme started by Channel 4 and Lloyds Bank. I've been speaking about this for almost a month now, I believe. Entries are going to be closing tomorrow, Wednesday, the 28th of June, at 4 p.m. Again, if you know a black business, if you have a black business and you're interested in potentially winning £100,000 worth of TV advertisements and actually the production of a TV advert that may play on the Channel 4, whatever it may be, to, further help your business, apply. You know what I'm saying? There's space for 5 winners, basically. They're giving away £500,000, £100,000 each. Entries close tomorrow. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the People's Journal.
Thank you. Let's get into asking for a friend. I'm a mother of 2 and I've always tried to be a good one. I've worked hard to provide for my children and I've always put their needs first. But recently I've been struggling financially. I lost my job and my husband's hours have been cut back. We're barely making ends meet. A few weeks ago, I was at my wit's end. I didn't know how I was going to pay the rent or buy groceries. I was so desperate that I did something I never thought I would do. I stole from my son's stash he keeps in his room. I know it was wrong, but I was so scared. I didn't know what else to do. I took the money and I used it to pay the rent, but now I feel guilty. I feel like I've betrayed my son's trust. I don't know what to do. I'm afraid to tell my husband what I did. I'm afraid he'll be angry with me, but I'm also afraid that if I don't tell him, he'll find out anyway. I'm in a dilemma. I don't know what the right thing to do is. I feel like I've made a mistake, but I don't know how to fix it. I'd rather just tell your son I've done something bad. Confess to your son. Take accountability. More parents need to do that. I'd rather just speak to a son and say, I was desperate, I did this. I'm sorry, I apologize.
What type of stash are you talking about? What, drugs? Am I dealer? So not drug dealer? What type of stash? Why is his money in his bank?
I thought it was a little piggy bank.
Huh?
I thought it was a little kid, which is I'm a mother of 2 and I've tried to be a good one, blah, blah.
Piggy bank. And he's got rent money in his piggy bank.
No, but that's the thing. It's not, though.
Huh?
I think he's a grown kid.
Yeah.
He should be contributing to the house anyway, so you guys won't have to struggle with rent. True. But, yeah. So I think it's a grown kid, drugs and stuff. Actually, you need to what's it called? Address that. What if now it's a whole top boy situation. Now he's on the run. Yeah, you need to address that. He might have you on the blocks and...
Let's assume though, yeah, like, I don't know, for tax purposes, he works for a particular business and they prefer to pay him in cash. And he's okay with that, right?
Yeah.
And he doesn't always have the time to go to the bank.
Yeah.
We know how sometimes there's long queues and all the banks are closing.
Yeah.
So that's what the situation is.
Yes.
Cool. In that situation, what do you think? Because me personally, just from reading this, I feel for her, man. You know what I'm saying?
I feel for her, of course.
And I feel like she's a very good mum, just from what I'm hearing there. Because obviously, they're really striving to provide for the children, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that she's got to this point means it's crazy. To pay rent.
I thought she was going to say she was to something else. That's the thing, it is crazy, rent. It's sad.
So I think personally, tell your husband, so at least both of you are in it together. And as much as he may be angry at you, he will understand. Because the man won't feel like, you know what, like he'll feel some type of way that you had to go to this extreme for us.
But also, he was going to be homeless.
This is what I'm saying.
We're all going to be homeless.
Yeah, so he will understand.
Yeah, I don't even think, I think let your husband know, but don't go with your husband to tell your son. Because I feel like she needs to take accountability. She's done wrong. She stole. Yeah. Regardless of whatever the circumstances are, theft is theft. She stole. Do you get what I mean? So I feel like if she goes with her husband, the son might not be able to. It feels like we're coming together.
Yeah, I know.
So you can't really express your annoyance. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like she should go to him on a person. Let your husband know married to a thief. But also go to, and then go to your son and say what happens. And just be honest, man. Because it is sad.
Sorry to cut you. The thing is, a lot of the time, obviously, we want to protect our kids from some of the harsh realities. You know what I'm saying?
Their kids now.
But obviously, he's a working man, right? Yeah. This son, or even if it's just gifts he's getting, birthdays, I don't know, right?
And the guy to pay rent.
Yeah.
You've got good friends.
Obviously, at that age, probably we were all contributing at home. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But in this situation, I feel like if you let the son know, like, yo,
we're down bad.
I did this, and this is the reason why.
Yeah.
He will understand. You know what I'm saying? He may be angry, but just like, no, look, when things get better, I will pay it back to you. But this is the reason why I did it, and I'm coming to you before you find out as well. He'll understand. And
as a matter of fact, if you can do next month, that'd be great. Because you know, like, obviously, I get like not telling little kids the circumstances. I don't think that's right. But if it's an adult, I think it's important for them to know what the reality is. Then when you, God forbid, you get kicked out of your home tomorrow, and now it's a whole thing. It's like, oh, why didn't you say something? I could have tried to do this.
This is it.
So I feel like have that conversation with him. Definitely apologize. We need to normalize parents apologizing. You're not right about everything. Definitely apologize because you still stole from him. and just let him know what you guys are dealing with as a family.
Yeah.
And he might be able to help. He might not be able to, but at least he's aware of what's going on.
He'll understand.
I think he'll understand, to be honest. Unless he's like a witch or
an
anything.
animal. You know what I'm saying? Like you're a good mum. Like your husband's there.
it.
You lot are present. You know what I'm saying? You try your best for your kids. He will understand. He'll look at you and basically be like, okay, cool. It's annoying that this money I'm saving up for a car or whatever it may be is kind of gone down a bit. You know what I'm saying?
He's pimp.
If it was you in that position, what would you do? Or what would you say if you was if your mum took the money?
And washing no more dishes in his house.
You say, "Hey, washing no more dishes."
I would understand. But I would have been contributing to the rent anyway. You know what I'm saying? But let's just say that wasn't even enough. I would understand.
Could you be annoying to steal from your son?
Yeah. And you don't believe you're ever going to get it back as well. You know what I'm saying? But still,
anyway, sorry.
It's better to not be on the street.
I'll be honest with you, yeah. I'm not stealing. I'll let my husband do it. I think Tariq's got some money in his room, but who knows? So well, the money will come somehow. And then next thing I know, rent is paid. I'm like, you did what you had to do, didn't you, King?
Suppose that was the money for the plug.
Oh,
goddamn.
You said you forgive her.
No real business crash, man.
This is what I'm saying. That's why I said she has to tell him ASAP because she actually doesn't know what the money was for. He might have been holding for someone else. Like, you can't put him in danger
he's got enough of it because it sounds like she's done it and the rent's been paid and
he doesn't know he's missing.
It hasn't even flagged up, so he doesn't even know. So he's got enough.
Maybe that's because the payment date's not come yet. On the payment date, and he gets all the money. It's time to count it up. Now he knows there's about $2,000 missing.
Ooh, yeah, he's gonna be hurt.
So he's got to do it now, so that at least if he's got to do more hours, they can make ends meet quickly, one way or another. But the quicker the better, though. You got.
He might have got consignment. That might not even be his bread. Oh my god, down bad.
And now everybody's dead.
Everybody's dead.
Okay, you guys know helping this woman. She's already a warrior mother.
Ego. Entertainment purposes, guys.
I don't know, man. You just sit down. You just sit down as a family, man, and just lay it all on the table and just talk about it, man. Because it happened, man. It's done, man. You can't take it back. So it's been paid for. So
it sounds like they talk too much, then.
Yeah, but they should, because at the end of the day, if you've got, I don't know what other people's family is like, but my family is, we are our support system. Like we don't need nothing from nobody, and none of us ain't gonna miss no rent. Whether that be me, my mum, my sister, or whatever. Like if one of us got it, we got it. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So it's just. Yeah, probably just be open and just talk about it because that's family, innit? You will get through it. If you had the conversation, you probably didn't have to steal it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the thing. I think you just have to talk about it, man.
But I think she's probably of the. I'm assuming a lot. I know, but like I feel like she's of the mindset of look, my kid is working hard or whatever, making his own money. I want him to learn how it is to make money, save money. And do something for himself.
Yeah, but you got forced to the point where you had to steal it. Stealing it couldn't have been harder decision than making and then having a conversation. How was that harder? Like you're forced. Like you're down bad. You ain't got no choice now.
Yeah.
I don't see how having a conversation was a harder choice.
What's the harder choice to make?
It's definitely not. I'm just basically saying that's the reason, probably the reason why she feels so bad, isn't it? About, you know what I mean?
I think she's also embarrassed though.
Yeah, exactly. This is it.
Embarrassment and shame will do something to a person.
Yeah. Well,
not all people. Some people need some more. But it's sad. I'm sorry that your situation's like this, and obviously we hope that things get better for you.
It will.
But I would say definitely speak to definitely speak to your son, like ASAP.
Yeah.
And hopefully he's understanding. If he's not understanding, write another dilemma in this, and send this episode to him, and then we can get some truths into him. But if you guys have dilemmas you would like to send through, you guys know, for asking for a friend, sis, what would you do? The number is 07564841073. You can send that in a text format or voice notes, and also email if that's more your thing. And the email address is tdasubmissions@thenewblack.com. Black is spelled with an X. Let us know what segment is for. Let's get into our last headlines. It's not yet going on.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning, people. How's everyone today?
Say it ain't so.
All good, man. How are you, man?
No, I'm very well, thank you. I'm very well. I am just calling because obviously... I was just listening. And I found it very interesting because Esther just said some people need some more shame. However, when I was saying the same thing the last time I called in, apparently I was saying something outrageous.
No, I'm knocking you off. I'm knocking you off.
Eat some bread.
There was no need.
That's
Eat
what I
some
was
bread,
saying.
please. Salah, eat some bread. And get some shame.
That's what I wanted to say. Everyone have a
No, but when I said, hey, that's man called in to check you, that is so cold.
He didn't check nothing. He didn't check nothing but his no bread eating ass at the door. He didn't check nothing. Goodbye, Sally.
Yo, only on TDA.
Can you imagine? This show is so silly.
Oh man. All right. So
It's like, I'm gonna speak to my cousins in Nigeria. I'm gonna start tracing people's calls.
all right, so the first headline, the White House has unveiled how the government is going to be divvying up $42 billion among the US's 50 states to expand access to high-speed broadband by 2030. The $42 billion in federal funding under the Broadband Equity Access and Deployment Program is based on a newly released Federal Communications Commission coverage map that details gaps in access, right? So this is the White House talking about this on Monday. Texas and California, which is the two most populous U.S. states, they top the funding list at 3.1 billion and 1.9 billion respectively. But other less populous states like Virginia, Alabama, and Louisiana cracked the top 10 list for funding due to the lack of broadband access. So basically, long story short, every state will receive a minimum of £107 million to try and get everybody in the country access to broadband so they can further the country and probably further the propaganda. But anyway, that's another thing. Next headline. According to a United Nations report, right, the cocaine demand and supply are booming, right, worldwide, and methamphetamines trafficking is expanding beyond established markets, including in Afghanistan, where the drug is now being produced. So the number of people taking drugs rose by 23% to 296 million in 2021, which is the most recent year for which the data is available, from 240 million in 2011. This is according to the annual World Drug Report published by the UN Office on Drugs and Crime late on Sunday. The UN ODC, which is the UN Office of Drugs and Crime, said only half the increase can be attributed to the world's population growth during the period. Meanwhile, the number of people who suffer from drug use disorders has skyrocketed to 39.5 million, which is a 45% increase over 10 years, which is crazy. And only 1 in 5 people will receive treatment in 2021. So it's mad, man. What they're saying is cocaine seizures have, however, grown faster than the production. Imagine containing the total supply to some extent. But yeah, last headline takes us to Sudan, where obviously we've been given updates here and there about the conflict that's happening over there. And according to the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, OCHA, they've said that more than 10,000 people have registered as refugees in South Sudan after fleeing the conflict in Sudan, while over 130,000 people have fled into South Sudan since the fighting started in April. Most of them were South Sudanese people returning home, basically. So pretty much they've come out and said that the latest influx continues to compound a dire situation as the arrival numbers are projected to continue to increase as the fighting continues. Among those arriving included unaccompanied people or separated children as well, the elderly, persons with disabilities, those with urgent medical needs, single or female-headed households, as well as pregnant women as well. So it's quite sad, man. But many arrivals have witnessed or are subjected to violence and exploitation, such as extortion and looting, all this type of stuff that they're experiencing during their journey to South Sudan. And looking at the rest of Sudan's neighbours like Egypt and Chad, for example, they've taken the bulk of the refugees fleeing the violence. But yeah, that's it for the headlines. Let's go into the reaction.
We're just patting up. Just quick reaction news. We're just gonna quickly just chat about some of the transfer rumours we want to go through. Obviously, United still hasn't got Mount over the line. You get me? The deal's still on the table, but they ain't forwarded it yet. They're saying that they're refocusing on Moses Caicedo. I've even heard stories about them going for Adrian Rabiot. Got to deal with his mum and all these things. So all that stuff's happening. Yeah, what was the bid? 55 million. Chelsea has countered the proposal, 58 plus 7. Don't see that happening. I'm also seeing stories about Ten Hag's going to go and raid Holland and all that. I don't like the sound of that. I mean, I know Dutchmen are technically gifted and thing, and there's probably some gems over there. But even so, it's not what I wanted to hear. Yeah, I don't like the sound of that. Havertz has completed his medical, so that's done. You get me? I thought I see your hand moving. I thought you were going for horns. I was gonna go crazy.
No. Sorry.
No, don't do that. I was gonna say.
Sorry, bro.
In other news, what's pissed me off? Remember I was telling you, like, do you think City will put in a proper bid and just get it accepted first time? And they didn't, yeah, because West Ham's rejected Man City's bid of 90 million. I'm guessing the structure's different to Arsenal's 90 million, because Arsenal's was like 75 plus 15 in add-ons. City's is 80 plus 10. I just think it's stupid. These people, I ain't got a horse in that race anyway, but it's annoying, because I was saying it. They saw how it played out with Arsenal. You get me? West Ham are playing hardball. They want their money for their player, for their prize asset. So, like, with having all that information and watching how it plays out, you could have stolen a march on it and just done the bad man thing. And you didn't. Now you're just leaving it up in the air again. Arsenal are going to come back with a third bid. You get me? All the stories coming out are that Rice favours them. I told you that anyway. I swear I gave you the inside scoop. I got like proper inside information that's where he wants to go. So again, Arsenal are still in it. Oh, there's still hope. I don't know. One of the next two bids, either Arsenal's third or City second, should get it done by rights if they're serious, innit, Brett? So yeah, we'll see how that plays out. In other news, in boxing news, it says there's a rematch clause complications. Oh no, rematch clause complicates negotiations for August 12th heavyweight fight AJ versus Whyte. So Anthony Joshua's team have inserted a one-way rematch clause in his favour in a late addition to the contractual terms, which has complicated negotiations for heavyweight fight with Dillian Whyte. Whyte resumed negotiations last week after he had verbally challenged promoter Eddie Hearn over a breakdown in communication regarding what would be hotly anticipated rematch, which is hoped to be staged at O2 on August 12th. The Brixton man has indicated he would take the proposed bout against his British rival and is open to a winners takes all and moves on fight. Joshua already has been linked with a potential Deontay Wilder fight to take place in the Middle East later this year. If he beats Joshua, Whyte would then look for a similar fight next himself. So the issue with a rematch clause could be a stumbling block. And in what looks like one of our last headlines, what is this thing? British athlete predicted his 9.83 run to break Linford Christie's 30-year 100-meter record. So, if you can dream it, you can achieve it, Zharnel Hughes wrote on Instagram after running 9.83 seconds to break Linford Christie's 30-year British 100-meter record. Not only did the 27-year-old dream it, but prior to his race in New York, Hughes had written down that he would make history by clocking that exact time. The reigning European 200-meter champion took 0.04 seconds off the previous record of 9.87 on Saturday, a mark which Christie had set at the World Championship in 1993. Hughes' new record is the fastest time in the world this year and second fastest ever by a European athlete. Only Italy's Marcel Jacobs, who ran 9.80 to win Olympic gold in Tokyo 2021, has run faster. And here's a little... Well, you can't see it, but there's a little screenshot of him saying Saturday, 24th of June, competition day in New York. I'm going to run 9.83. The slowest is 9.89. He's saying, have faith. I am prepared and I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Watch God. Big up. Where's the horns, Brent, man? Come on, man. Look at God, man. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? And our last headline, Faith Kipyegon? Yeah. Faith Kipyegon breaks 5,000 meter world record. So Kenya's Faith breaks the world women's 5,000 meter world record with an unbelievable time of 14 minutes, 5.20 seconds. 40 minutes. What?
Yeah, 14 minutes.
40 minutes, 5.20 seconds at the Diamond League meeting in Paris, just a week after breaking the 1,500 meter world record. So big up her. All right, cool. That's the end of our sports news. Let's get into Out Ere. Sorry, that you keep getting these things in real times. I haven't been doing my due diligence, but today's done out here. Hopefully this is short and sweet and open. Oh, we got a video. Click the link, Brent. Click the link. We got a video. Let's hear this message. Let's hear this word.
It's gonna be quick.
Huh?
It's gonna be quick, but funny.
It's gonna be quick. Yeah. Let's hear the word, man. We got a word today, people. We got a word today in the pulpit.
All the young girls.
Wait there, what? What?
Hey, bring the camera, son. Bring the camera. All the young girls who want to make life with pussy, your pussy will perish with you in hell. May your pussy perish with you. May your smooth pussy, linear pussy, and tight pussy perish with your pussy.
Wait, 1 second.
Bring the camera, son. Bring the camera. All the young girls who want to make life with pussy, your pussy will perish with you in hell. May your pussy perish with you. May your smooth pussy, linear pussy, and tight pussy perish with your.
One more time for Esther, please, because she did it.
Bring the camera.
Sorry, people. One more time.
Bring the camera. All the young girls who want to make life with pussy, your pussy will perish with you in hell. May your pussy perish with you. May your smooth pussy, linear pussy, and tight pussy perish with your.
Wow.
At least you recognize the girls were getting waxes. He said, "May you're smooth."
Man said, "May your smooth pom pom perish with you."
Who hurt him?
But,
Was that just a random sermon?
I don't know. He woke up. He got a word, man. That was on his heart, man. The Lord had a message for him. You get what I'm trying to say? And it's all you gal that I want to live through pussy.
Some of the members of that church somewhere are mocking a girl like me who goes to a white church. Hate to see it.
Well, I don't know. That's boy. I don't even know who's done it here.
Of course it's him. What do you mean? Excuse me. Take me through your thought process. What do you mean?
He's trying to stop people from going to hell.
So, sorry.
I'm just saying he's giving a word and he was doing
What was
a
it he said?
sermon
He said all the girls.
that want to live life through pussy. Was that what he said? Something like that, innit? That you want to live through pussy. Like you want to.
Oh, they're gonna take their pussy to hell.
It's gonna make you perish.
Oh,
So I think what he's saying is put God first.
that's not what he's saying. Because I bet he been in a lot of pussies. That's not what he's saying. Yeah, it's wild.
but saying that in church, you know what? Yeah. Same time I saw this, I saw a next clip that wanted.
What country was that from? Don't say Nigeria.
I think it's Zimbabwe. You know. I think I'm not too sure.
It was giving me like if you get to hell and if you get to heaven and you don't see me there, you're in hell vibes. The accent. Sorry, you're saying?
Yeah, there was another video where this woman, basically a female pastor, was basically saying, in fact, she wasn't even saying anything. I think she was trying to heal the guy, innit? Guess what she did?
I'm scared.
She pulled down her thingy.
A titty.
Yeah.
And put in his mouth.
Yeah.
Early milk.
Did it heal him?
He was happy. he seemed cured. I'm telling you.
Man said he seemed cured.
I can see.
Cured. It was instantaneous.
I can see. I can dance. It's mad.
I was in church. I couldn't believe it.
Man said it was instantaneous.
But you know, I don't understand how people don't see that this is wild. Did you ever hear about the pastor that had the holy sperm?
I think I
And
have.
he was sharing it
Imagine.
to all the women in the church. It's wild, man.
At what point though is it the people in the church fault though?
Oh, at this point. At this point. at this point, it is your fault. Because you can't surely be that oblivious. But then I always think that these people, there's a certain socio-economic thing going on.
Yeah, that's true.
It's layered, but gosh,
Sad, man.
all the best parties involved.
Yeah, man.
I don't know about that sermon, man. That was a lot, man.
I'd like some healing.
You say
She's got two.
Y'all are dumb.
Imagine if it was at the same time though. Like two different. This is mad. I don't put it past him. If you could do that as your first, like you could do that.
The woman or the man?
No, the woman.
Oh, yeah, she's got two titties.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, can we get through the queue quicker?
Because you know exactly. Like just be like passing it along. So even if you go on the first one, you go on to the next. It's insane.
It's a double homicide.
Anyway,
this is stupid, you know.
I'm gonna try and find that video. I had the link, but they've taken it down.
Wild. It's so wild.
Of the healing breast?
Yeah, man. I tried
Of
to
all of
find
it?
but it's gone.
I don't know why. Someone heard that man though. Because why the pussy gotta be smooth?
Did he say creamy as well or something? He said another word. He said pussy. He said smooth, tight, and
Kenyan.
and what?
He said Kenyan.
Oh, was it Kenyan?
I
Kenyan.
heard.
Wow.
You didn't say Kenyan. You couldn't have said Kenyan. That's wild.
Well, you know what? You are done out here because you're supposed to be doing God's work, but you're out here PRing for hell, letting the man them know that it's full of tight, smooth, creamy pussy. Do you get what I'm saying? You're giving that the wrong message. You're going to be sending people there. You're supposed to be keeping them from there, bro. So that's why you're done out here. There you go. Found it.
He's escorting them there.
Got it.
You got it. Let's get into our outro.
All right. Well, this was a great show. This is another one for the books. He's strong start to the week. TDA, strong start to the week. What is this?
Yep.
Oh, so I just saw that picture in the doc.
Oh yeah, that's the guy who won. Who beat the record.
But what time he was going to win before the race. Yeah. Look
Really?
at God, yeah. Affirmations, man.
Praying towards
I
it, man.
love that. That's beautiful. Man, like, he's going to heaven. All right. Well, thank you for tuning into the show. Please like the video. Are the likes making sense, or have they revoked it?
No, it's not making sense at all.
It's not?
Nope.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I need to keep putting up that message. Can we make it to 200? Can we make it to 200?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
This is what we've come down to.
Yeah, this is what's come. Like, I hope the men have liked it.
I know if
You started to compliment the video.
If I'd said whoever supports Michael Jackson like the video, it'd be up there. 350.
Bro. It'd be more than people watching. It'd be crazy. All right. Well, follow us on our social media platforms as well. The day after TNB. If you want to send your dilemmas in, please send them in to 075 6484 1073. And if you would like to inquire about the show or you want to feature on the show, our email address is thedayafter@thenewblack.com. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Peace.
Bye.